YouTube. Got another Extinction spreadsheet video for you today. For those of you that have never seen this before, the Extinction spreadsheet is basically a culmination of all of the testing and research that I initially did on this game to find like damage values and multipliers and regen and all of the stuff that there's no information for out there. But with this latest version, I've enlisted the help of my buddy Extra Bier here,
Yeah,
as well as another guy,
as well as
Score.
Pillow.
But yep,
Yeah,
true.
it's been a group effort now, and it's gotten to 52
Yeah,
pages of pure information dump, and it's insane. But I think we cover like almost everything you can ever know about Extinction in here.
it's pretty comprehensive at this point. So
Yeah, let's just
we've
go.
got our nice cover page here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The hive mind.
Yeah, and
I
then
love it. It's gonna be
a
the
new
thumbnail for sure.
addition is we have the table of contents at the beginning now instead of the table of contents being halfway through the spreadsheet.
Oh
So
lol.
that's a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
the 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 spreadsheet is divided kind of into two parts. The first half of it was made in Excel, and it's just a bunch of tables and charts and data. About notes, it was in a Word document, so there's just paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of information down there.
Yeah, just a bunch of text with really useful info though. But we didn't know how to properly represent it, so it's just become a bunch of text. The first part is really
Yeah,
nice though.
we at least made it format well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And I mean the
if you're gonna
information
look
just
at
needs
this
to be
for like
somewhere.
30 seconds, check out. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But the most important part of this spreadsheet is pretty much these first 2 pages of it here. What you're looking at is all of the weapons for the game with damage values that we tested, hopefully against the Ancestor challenge, the one that tells you to deal 5,000 damage to the Ancestor's critical hit points, because you can just read damage values off of that.
Yeah.
Uh, except all the guns that aren't on Exodus, that challenge isn't available, so I had to get a little creative in testing them against other enemies, but I'm pretty confident in most of these numbers now. Um,
Yeah, they're looking
so
good.
to walk you through yeah, right, especially everything that's like a lower damage number is pretty good. The only stuff that's like a little bit skeptical is like the MR28 and then the sniper rifles. They're weird.
Yeah, but nobody uses sniper
Very
rifles anyway, so
yeah, right. And
only the
it doesn't
VKS
even
has been
matter how
tested
much
so
damage.
much.
Yeah, there's all sorts of crazy multipliers and things that just work and don't work, and it's bad.
Yeah. A big thing that's added in
Um,
this spreadsheet is the rapid fire DPS values.
yep.
We now
So
know how much the rapid fire increases the fire rate, and with that we could easily calculate all the rapid fire DPSs, which is really nice to know to compare it to like guns that don't work with rapid fire.
yes, and a little further down in the spreadsheet, I have a comparison of every single weapon that can take both rapid fire and extended mags, and you can directly compare their DPS values. Um,
Yeah, that's really cool.
but to explain like how I decided to like order these guns, so they, every gun has a damage and then a fire rate. This is just bullets per minute, right? And so from that you can get a DPS value, damage per second. I think this is probably like the most tangible way to understand how good a weapon is. This is just a measure of how fast this gun kills something up close if you don't miss any bullets, right?
Yeah.
So you get these values are,
It,
um, a little bit idealized, right? Because in reality, there's going to be damage drop involved and you're going to miss, but it's a pretty good um, way to rank the guns and have an understanding of what's better and what's worse.
yeah. So for example, if you go up to a mammoth that's just spawning and you use infinite bullets and you just spray, this is the rankings of all guns. So, for example, the bulldog can kill incredibly fast if you're up close in his face, because if you take like 2 steps away, you're already getting a damage drop. And if you're like 10 steps away, it doesn't do damage. But in the ideal scenario, the damage would be 3,000, for example.
Later on in the spreadsheet, we do actually have those damage drop curves for a select number of weapons. It's only the guns that are on Exodus, so we can use the Ancestor Challenge and have a holographic sight, because the holo sight gives you a damage drop read off that tells you where you are on your damage drop curve. But other than those like 8 or something weapons that applies to, there would be no way for me to be able to reliably and accurately test the damage and range values of all these guns, and get numbers that actually matter at all.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving the full like damage drop plot nightmare situation until someone data mines this and we just get the numbers.
Yeah. I think with the range values you have, you can get an estimate of how assault rifles, SMGs, and shotguns behave. So it's definitely something.
Right. Yeah, it's got a few comparisons in there, and for the most part, pretty much unless you're shooting at like a gargoyle, almost all the stuff you do is pretty close.
Yeah, for
So
sure. Like if you have an assault or an SMG, you're
these,
never gonna notice the damage to it.
right? It's like the only time I can think. Oh,
Shotguns have a
yeah,
massive damage drop. It's that's the one gun you really
bad.
struggle with, and gargles, of course. And if you have the range
Yeah,
challenge, then you
gargoyles
also
get
struggle with
crazy.
it.
I'm just thinking like that second area of point of contact. I feel like that's like the most long range because you chill on top of like that building,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're just shooting shit whenever it hops over the fence because they all have to come from out of bounds in. But like other than that, it's pretty close usually.
Yeah,
Um,
you protect
and
the
then
trail,
on
stand
the
close to it.
yeah on the right side of this first page here, I've got just like a quick cheat sheet of pretty much everything relevance HP values for solo. This used to be split between 2-player HP values that were pulled directly out of the data mine, and then 1-player HP values that weren't in the data mine, and I had to test them myself. But that's kind of confusing to look at. So
Yeah, this is
what
nice.
I've consolidated all down to just it's 1-player HP, and then these are the multipliers. Um, so if you have one person in your lobby, you get these values. If you have 2 people, you get 11% more damage. 3, it's 44%, and then 4, it's double health. Um,
Yeah,
these numbers, 11% and 44%, are kind of like weird, but the reason is because I think the game was based around 2 players, and so you're whenever you're in solo, it gives them like a 90% HP, you know.
mm-hmm.
But I've just flipped that conversion around to keep it all consistent.
Yeah. So that's why the numbers are a bit weird, but it works.
Yeah, and there's this is like the cheat sheet version of the enemy HP table. There's a much more detailed one, like a couple pages further in.
Yeah, but it's nice to have it here so you can see like, oh, an arcs is 3 shots on a scout, and if you have like an arc on
Right.
it, it would be a 2 shot, and those kind of comparisons.
Yep. Okay, and then just this one note here. So rapid fire increases the fire rate by 17% with no penalties to damage range and a 5% increase to visual recoil. That's important because in a lot of COD games, rapid fire does not do that. Like the norm for rapid fire is that it tanks your range and it makes your gun kick a lot.
Yeah,
But in this game, it does not affect your range at all,
it's
and it
just a
puts
buff.
it puts a yeah, right. It's just straight a buff. It puts a little bit of a recoil increase, and then also because you're shooting bullets faster, it's going to have an even more. But the um the recoil decrease value from the foregrip is bigger than 5%. So a foregrip, if you have rapid fire with a foregrip, it like totally cancels it out.
Yeah, it's great.
Pretty neat.
And if you're using like a chainsaw, you don't even have visual recall. You just hold it like that.
Yeah, or you just put the enemy in the middle of your screen and it goes
Yeah,
away.
it just goes. Okay, then we have some more
On
guns.
this, yep. Are you on the second or the third page?
Second.
Or I guess, yeah, the second page. Yeah, so I I sorted this section here so that the first page is all the crap that can have a rapid fire, and then the second page is all the stuff that doesn't.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so they're a little simpler, right? They only have one DPS value. Um, and on the right, this is the color code that we establish and kind of just keep using this for the entire rest of the spreadsheet. So if you see, you'll see this keep popping up anytime like a DPS or a magazine size is mentioned, and it's just kind of a quick visual way to
Yeah.
estimate how good each thing is.
So you can immediately see like red is shit, purple is amazing, and like blue, greenish is like normal.
Yeah. You, on this second page, a lot of these guns are semi-auto, uh, and or like
Only the cracks.
the semi-auto guns in Extinction are sometimes like absolutely insane, totally fucking unbalanced at all. Like
Yeah, the VKS can
the
be sick.
yeah, and keep in mind with these semi-auto guns, the MR28, BKS, Bulldog, MTS, in order to actually get these crazy high, highest DPS in the game uh, values, you actually have to like practice with it. It's it's not just like spamming the trigger as fast as possible, because
Yeah,
there's like the game has features built in to keep people from using like an auto clicker to just shoot an entire mag in half a second. Um, so you have to like get this rate of fire and like match it as a rhythm.
yeah. So there's like if you press an unlimited amount of times in a second, you only get a certain amount of fire rate. But if you go a slight bit slower than the maximum, or no wait, if you go faster than that fire rate but slower than the maximum, you can go faster, and it's really hard to do. But you can
Yeah,
shoot ridiculously fast with the bulldog and the VKS. So that's also why those barrier hives die so quickly by it.
yeah. Especially, oh, one other thing you gotta worry about when you're doing that is when you get frame drops,
Oh yeah,
like when you blow up all the propane tanks and it like shits on your graphics card. That like messes up the fire cap of these semi-autos, which is a little weird, but get used to it.
yeah. Also, if you have the bulldog and you shoot like really fast, faster than the fire rate cap, you can have so much recoil that your gun disappears. Which
Oh
is you have never seen that?
no.
Oh, it's really funny. If you have like infinite bullets with weapon specialists, you can keep shooting and your gun will slowly like start going down. But you still shoot
Yeah.
straight forward, so it doesn't matter. But it's really funny.
Yeah, I've noticed with like the VKS, when you shoot it for a really long time with the weapon specialist, it's like it kicks a bunch at the beginning, but eventually it just stops kicking. And then after you stop shooting, it falls all the way down to the ground, you know?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
I think what happens there is there's like a maximum value that your gun can kick to. Like it can only go so high. Uh, and so once you get to that point, it can't go anywhere, so it just doesn't kick. But when you stop shooting, it tries to recenter itself, but its center it is now like way down in the ground.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good stuff.
Little notes on this page here. So the M9 is a burst fire. Um, I think it's the only burst fire by default gun in the game,
Yeah, it is.
and
It sucks.
yeah, it's trash. And so the rate of fire and DPS values that I'm reporting here are for the overall burst, right? So it shoots 3 shots, and then you gotta wait a sec, and then you can shoot another 3 shots. So within the burst, it's shooting pretty much almost as fast as the MP443 Grok, but you can't continuously shoot that fast. So this takes into account the amount of time you have to wait between bursts, and that's why its DPS is so low.
Yeah, but that's
And
good.
yeah, is with the shotguns, they all do the same damage. They each shoot 8 pellets. Each of the pellets does 75 damage. That was a fun one to figure out.
Yeah,
I had to like make a
less
whole like
work.
table of possible. Yeah. It's like once I noticed it, like, oh, thank God they all do the same
Yeah,
damage. But in order to figure that out with the ancestor challenge, I had to like because you shoot it and you don't know how many pellets hit,
yeah,
but you get a value, and that value is when you divide it by the number of pellets you hit, it gets like an integer. So there was like a whole fucking it was a mess, but I'm happy with these numbers.
yeah. So the
And
bulldog has the highest fire rate, so it says the highest DPS. The MTS has a little bit low fire rate, but it's a bigger range. And then you have the
yeah,
tag, which is like a lot of bullets, which you also have to reload for 10 minutes.
it's so slow.
It's terrible. And FP6 is, uh, yeah, it's a gun. It has a high chance of finding an
Yeah,
arc
I mean it's
attachment, but that's about it.
yeah. The FP6 in on day 1 edition, it can it can equip rapid fire.
Yeah, yeah, that's insane.
And I think that's why it can't have an extended mag, is
Only gun
because at
that can't have
launch,
an extend mag.
yeah. And it's so silly because it's like the one shotgun that like you actually could put an extended mag on
Yeah,
realistically.
yeah, indeed. And
Um
you also really need it
yeah,
on that gun.
it would make it like I
Usable,
don't know, I wouldn't say more viable, but it would be more fun.
definitely.
um but yeah, so I think it had the rapid fire at launch, and the
Hmm.
devs are like, "Oh god, why does this have a rapid fire? Prevent it from taking that category of attachment at all, and that's why it can't have an extended mag."
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
I guess. Um,
Okay, then we have the knife, which we also tested. You can test it on the ancestor. And we were
yeah,
thinking it would do less
I
than 250 damage because a scout had 250 health. But it can't one shot a scout in solo. So there is probably like a zero point 0.9 multiplier in place to prevent you from one knifing scouts on solo,
yeah.
which is
Well,
super weird.
it's actually not probably. We found it in the code.
You
There's
found it in the
there.
code.
Yeah. Like we found the thing, and it's like there's like a multiplier. It's like 0.9, and then it's a comment next to it, and it literally just says like 0.9x multiplier to prevent it from one shotting in solo. It's like the reason.
But
It's so weird.
if you're in two player, it does do 250 damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
crazy.
yeah. It a lot of these multipliers and shit, like when you start thinking about it too hard,
Yeah,
like things just don't make sense. But yeah, this is just a thing that's in the game for some reason.
it's stupid.
I think it's because in solo, like everything has the 0.9x health multiplier, so they brought the melee damage down too, or
Yeah,
something
probably.
like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
But if you have armor piercing ammo in your gun, and you have the armor piercing ammo upgrade, and you knife a scout in the armor, you get an armor piercing knife that gets the AP ammo bonus damage in one shots.
yeah, that's super stupid still. I love it though.
It just works.
It's so funny how a knife gets affected by whatever gun you hold. Like the
Yeah, it's like
venom
the
also. We will get to that
yeah,
later.
that's I guess that's I didn't realize that's the same game mechanic.
Yeah, for sure. Also, if
Fantastic.
you have double wield pistols, you have more range with your knife, which is also stupid. We will get to that later. There's a comment
Yeah.
about that in Miscellaneous, I think.
Yep. Oh man. All right, next
Okay,
page.
next page.
Yeah.
Page 5 out of 50. You're gonna be here for a while.
Yep.
The Venomax, mess of a gun.
Yeah, fucking nightmare.
Yeah, but in
So,
Yeah, you go.
Okay. This one was difficult to assign a DPS value to because there's a lot of different damages and a lot of different possibilities. So, what I went with was if you shoot uh, both of your shots, so like boom, boom, you blow them up, and then the amount of time it takes for you to shoot those shots and then reload the next one's in so that you can shoot it again. I took that total damage that would be dealt in that amount of time, and that's your DPS here, and it's a lot lower than I thought it would be.
Yeah, because it absolutely melts the breeder, so I also thought it would be higher. But it probably
Right?
melts the
Yeah.
breeder because you can't miss. Like other guns, it's really hard to hit the breeder with. The venom
Right?
just
Yeah.
always hits.
The explosion does 1800, which is like enough to one shot a hunter with some room to spare, but you'll need two of these to take out like a phantom or a gargoyle. And then the gas is
Extremely
so the
strong.
gas this is yeah, real strong. 250 per pulse for 10 pulses at 2 pulses per second. Anytime there's pulses involved, it's so wordy because but yeah, what this means is 2 pulses a second. So like
Yeah.
it hits really fast and it's doing enough damage to one shot a scout every single time.
Yeah, if a scout runs into it, it just dies. If a hunter is in it for a bit, it just dies. And if you shoot
Yeah, I
a
think the hunter
rhino
lasts like
with a venom, the gas actually deals more damage to the rhino than the explosion itself does.
yeah, that's it's a good way to kill a rhino. Is just like hit it with like 2 venom shots and then switch over to another weapon to finish it off, and it goes down real quick.
Yeah, it's amazing. Or you just
Yeah,
throw venom on the drill while you do something else, and the gas will just protect it for a while.
yeah,
Yeah, amazing
very
gun.
cool gun. It's so I love how it's like I like how they handled the incorporation of it into like the gameplay loop. It's not like a thunder gun, right? Where the
No,
thunder
no.
gun is just like, oh, this is just the best thing ever, and you'll never use anything else once you get it.
Yeah,
It's like a it's literally just like an extra like tool for you to use, you know?
yeah, exactly. It's very limited by its ammo, which only drops like
Yeah.
every 30 seconds. What is it?
I think it's like 45,
45,
but
something like that.
oh, yeah, that's another thing. The venom ammo, so it looks like it's a random drop from enemies. It's not. It's on a
Definitely not.
timer. Yeah, it's like very consistent, and so you kind of can get a feel for when you're gonna get a venom ammo. It's like you get a feel for when to use it. Um, and then when you pick the ammo up, it refills your mag and then gives you 2 shots in reserve. So if you pick it up with a full mag, you're only getting half the ammo.
Yeah,
So
you're wasting it.
yeah, because it either fills your mag or it doesn't. So if your mag's full, you lose those 2 shots. So you want to pick the ammo up with it at 0/2 or 0/0.
Yeah, and then you get 4 bullets instead of 2.
Yeah. And if you have limited ammo, um, the 2/2 goes down to 1/1. So you that one you just pick it up when your mag has at least 1 shot empty.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's still good. It just has
but
less ammo.
right, you got to be a little more careful with it.
Yeah, bummer to find out that
You
all
want to
Venoms do the exact same thing. Like the fire one and the electric one are all copies of the Venom X, just with a different skin,
yeah,
which is
pretty
kinda
much it's
kinda bummer. But
unless there's some minor difference, but I certainly have not noticed anything in all my testing.
yeah, there might be some like area of effect, maybe the height of the width or something. But I think it's all pretty much the same.
Yeah, and until that gets
Data
data
mined.
mined,
Yeah,
I'm cool with saying that all of the Venom variants are just reswap or reskins.
yeah.
I kind of like the
Except for the
yeah
plant one on Mayday, of course. That one
yeah
shoots fucking
yeah
plants. Those plants are
um,
amazing, by the way. You can keep them
really
up. Like you can put 4 on the ground, and
mm,
if you pick up venom ammo, you get 4 shots back. and the plants like stay for longer than it takes for ammo to drop, so you can have 4 plants constantly, which is actually pretty good.
I need to try that. I've probably actually used the SX maybe like 5 times ever.
Really, it's actually pretty
I've
decent.
made
Those plants like kill hunters so
Yeah.
fast.
Mayday is like my least played map.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's funny because Mayday is like supposed to be, the easiest one,
Yeah, it's
like
so
with
long.
regards to like relics and turrets, but I always get my ass kicked on Mayday. Like the challenge runs get so hard.
Yeah. There are some hard aliens, and the seeders have no mercy.
Yeah, the cedars are just crazy.
In the last area, there's so many phantoms.
It's that third area, like once you get inside, on if you're speaking of like ultra hardcore, like the weird bonkers runs that aren't like intended to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you get into that last area, it's it's like you're playing an entirely different game.
Yeah, the money drops,
Yeah,
the aliens start spawning. Like the valve section is also so random. You can have like
dude. Yeah,
good RNG, and it will only be scouts. Or you can have shit
yeah. Or you
RNG,
get
and it will
like
be fucking phantoms. And as soon as you kill one, a
yeah
new one
phantoms at like
spawns.
3 shot.
Yeah, and they just attack the valve as well. Normally phantoms don't attack
Usually
the drill,
whenever
but they do attack the
yeah
valves and they destroy it. Like quick.
yeah whenever it gives me phantoms and I'm doing like ultra hardcore, I've noticed that once like a couple valves get taken out, it stops the phantoms. So I'll just like let them take a couple valves out and have
Oh
like
really?
flare, IMS, everything. Yeah,
That's pretty good to
and
know.
just to make sure I don't get wiped by the phantoms, because like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
once they destroy it and you clear them out, then it's it's funny, like the Kraken fight on like normal is the most boring thing ever,
Oh
but then when
yeah.
you do it on like the ultra hardcore or whatever, it gets so hard. It's fucking like nightmare mode.
Yeah. I hate the Kraken fight though. Least favorite boss
Worst
fight.
boss fight ever.
For sure. It's just a loading screen.
Right.
Auto scroller.
Yeah, it's an auto scroller.
Okay,
Auto
that
scroller that's randomized.
yeah, fucking hell. Random attacks, random times. Speedrun is terrible. I still have to get that record back, but it's gonna be so terrible. Okay, then we have the NX1, which is also weird. But it's an amazing gun. The DPS of the NX1 is insane. It's like almost as high as the Bulldog with infinite range and the regenning ammo. So I think people should use it a lot more than they do. The large shots which you use against the Ancestor also an insane amount of damage, but it takes 10 shots to fire one large shot. You can also do 10 small shots, which the DPS is based on. And the small shots deal like 2,000 damage. And if you shoot it 10 times, it's 20,000 damage, which is 4 times more than a large shot. So those small shots should be used way more. You can 2-shot a gargoyle and a phantom with it, and you can like 4-shot a rhino,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah, the small shots are so slept on because well the large shot, it does a lot of damage. I've never tested the large shot against like regular enemies. I've just tested it against the ancestor.
They,
The main purpose of it is the fact that it takes the ancestor's shield down.
yeah, that's what it's made for, and it does that amazingly.
Okay.
It's
But
made to
yeah,
kill the
but
ancestors
like
easier because they are a big pain to deal with without an NX or NX nades.
they're so ass without when they can bring the shield up.
Yeah,
But yeah, like the small shots just against regular enemies is crazy.
it's insane.
The the 2-shot phantom is like how I kill phantoms on Exodus. You just pull the disruptor out and pew,
Yeah,
done.
normally they have like the same amount of health as a gargoyle, half the health of a rhino, which is a lot, and it just takes like 50 bullets to kill. And with the NX, it's like bam bam, it's dead.
Yeah. And it has if you have like weapon specialist or team boosters, the NX's swap in time is like instant.
The handling
So
is insanely fast as well. You can run
yeah,
with it as fast as you can with your pistol or an SMG.
like literally, you're just shooting like your normal gun. You see a phantom, it takes like a half second to just disruptor, bang, bang, back.
Yeah, it's
Like,
really good. And then you can
it's,
just let it regen ammo. And as soon as you get a feel for it, you can just take it out, shoot 10 bullets or 9 bullets because you don't want to deal with that cooldown, and put
yeah,
it
it's weird.
back. And then whenever you need it, take it on again.
Yeah, when you shoot the 10th bullet, so not the big shot, but if you shoot all 10 with the small shots, when you get to the last, when you shoot the last one, you get locked in a 3.5 second long cooldown animation, and you can't do anything.
Yeah,
But if you melee or pull out a grenade and cancel it, you can get out of that cooldown animation way faster.
yeah, that's a bit of tech. I think that's
It's useful
covered
if you
later
want
in
to.
Miscellaneous as well.
I think it is too. Yeah, it's cool for like ancestor like combos.
Yeah, if you use NX nades and the NX shots, you can
Yeah.
kill an ancestor super fast. You can also delete ancestors with mortars, like you do with the
Yeah,
breeder.
I think that's a little that's the craziest shit
Have you ever
when you
seen that? If you
do
like spam mortars quick enough, the ancestor doesn't like even do his death animation anymore. It just
yeah
gets deleted. It's the
yeah I've
best shit ever.
you can do that with a bulldog.
You can do? That's insane.
Yeah, I've done it with you got to shoot him for a while, but once you get him down far enough, he just goes away. And then
That's beautiful.
the like the kill an ancestor in 180 seconds challenge.
Hmm.
If you um if you delete him like fully, it finishes the challenge faster.
Oh, sick.
Because the challenge like ends on. Wait, am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Don't take
I'm thinking
damage
of something
for
else.
180 seconds.
There's like, oh, the flying aliens. That's what I'm thinking of. There's a challenge that involves that. So the ancestor is a flying alien,
Oh, really?
and yeah, when if you fully delete him,
He
like the moment
counts.
he disappears, it gives you a point for the,
Nice.
the flying aliens challenge.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that covers the wonder weapons. They're amazing.
Yep.
Then we have some
I
damage
love.
multipliers.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah,
These
damage
are so.
multipliers are all over the place.
I I've lost so much fucking hair over these multipliers. Okay, so I'll just let's go down it. So the do less damage relic is 2/3 of your damage, right? So it takes 33% off. It's a 0.66x multiplier, however you want to think about it.
Yeah, it's a big
It's big.
debuff.
It applies to most things, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
um, this 0.66, um, if you have like weapon specialist +4, that 50% damage boost exactly counters this. You'd average out to 1, so that's kind of neat to know.
yeah,
Armor hit, it's talking about like whenever you shoot an enemy and you get like the clink and it pulls up the
yellow
little
thing.
shield. Looks like that's about 50% damage. Then a critical hit on a normal enemy is 50% extra damage. Somewhere in that ballpark, these numbers are kind of hard to test, and they might be a little different from enemy to enemy.
Yeah, but it checks out.
Yeah. One thing that I'm absolutely sure about is the ancestor critical hit. With like a normal weapon is a 20% damage buff, but the interesting thing is that uh, different weapons get different multipliers, or maybe don't even get multipliers at all. For instance, I think with the snipers, they're getting a higher thing here, like 38%, 40%,
Yeah,
just based on how much damage they deal to other enemies. Um, and then stuff like the death machine just doesn't get a multiplier at all. It's weird.
yeah. Explosives in general don't get a multiplier, but death machine isn't even explosive. It's weird.
It's it's weird. The only reason you really need to know that value is if you wanted to test weapons for
Yeah,
yourself.
it only made the testing harder.
Right. In I guess in context, the only thing you need to know about that is the ancestor critical hit it's probably not as important as you think.
Yeah.
Like if shooting for the ancestor's head is gonna make you miss, like when he doesn't move much, but sometimes he like flinches and does like a big animation that makes you miss a bunch of shots. It it's better to just hit him anywhere than it is to miss.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically.
Also with the bulldog, if you're gonna miss pellets by shooting his head, it's better to just shoot his body.
Yeah, just like point blank him right in the nuts.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's his height, like. Yeah, then we have the arc attachment, fucking amazing.
Oh
It
yeah.
buffs your gun by like 33%, which is a lot. It
Yep.
can make your
It
gun so
also
much stronger.
it also massively increases your
Oh
range
yeah, it's insane.
by
Shotguns become so
the
much
numbers
better
I've
with
found.
it.
Yeah, right. It's a big deal. I know I've had people tell me that like oh, top level players would use a muzzle brake instead of the arc for extra range. What?
What the fuck?
What?
Doesn't
But
make sense.
yeah,
Like
no,
an
arc.
MTS with an arc can like shoot scorpions so far away. The arc makes it all possible.
Yeah, I noticed I did a UHC Awakening run with the TAC 12, and
Fuck, that sounds terrible.
the the arc made it so much better than I expected. Like it had way more reach than you would think it
Yeah,
would.
it does. Like insane.
Yeah.
Because I've
So
used shotguns a lot
34%.
in the speedruns, and I know the ranges. Like I know the feeling, and then you have an arc, and then you're like, whoa, I can hit everything now, and everything dies quicker as well.
Absolutely. This there is almost no reason to ever not want an arc. I can think of one.
Yeah,
Um,
fucking invisible barriers.
the breeder. Yeah, the arc fucks with invisible barriers, and the breeder is absolutely covered in invisible boxes. Um,
Yeah, so
and
you might
also the
not want to
arc
use it
multipliers
there.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes they just like don't apply to things like barrier hives. They they just don't apply to
Yeah,
barrier
any
hives, so
special
that's why.
things that were introduced before the arc was introduced. So all the aliens that are in Awakening and Exodus are affected by the the arc multiplier. So all the aliens that are in those maps and also in the other maps are affected. But they just didn't bother to add it in for bosses like the breeder and the barrier hives.
Oh
Probably
yeah,
also not the Kraken, but I don't know if that's
yeah,
testable.
that's kind of impossible
But
to
they were
test.
just lazy with
Yeah,
it. Like all this stuff that's in Awakening and Exodus, they added the multiplier on. But all the stuff that was in before that just didn't get the multiplier.
yeah.
Probably
It's
because they never
it's
planned to
weird.
introduce Master Scavenger, so you were never supposed to have it on those maps at the
Yeah,
start.
right. That was kind of a late addition.
Yeah, they just threw that in there in the last DLC. They went crazy with the Tita Grace in the last DLC.
I'm so glad they did that the way
Yeah,
they
it's so
did
fun.
with like
Double class with
they
the Slay
y-
ammo, Master Scav.
they at for the first couple months of the armory, you would the tooth earn system was entirely different. You'd get like 4 teeth a game. But also all the upgrades were way cheaper, and then later at the end of the game, you make it so you get like 3 to 5 times as many teeth
Yeah,
per game. So all of those like base level upgrades are now super duper easy to get. You can get yourself started really quick, and now you have like the huge stuff to save up for at the end. I like how they did that.
yeah, it's better.
That
I
like
remember when
loop.
Tita Grades were introduced, I was grinding my ass off to unlock start with the Locky key. It was like a big accomplishment when I looked at it. Now it's like one game.
I distinctly yeah, right. I very vividly remember grinding for an entire weekend to get Hypno Knife for Rhino,
Yeah, that one was expensive.
because that took I think it took me like 12 games,
Yeah, that was stupid back then.
and now you could do that in 3 easily.
Yeah, easy.
2 if you really go crazy with it and like kill a bunch of extra aliens.
So anyway, Master Scavenger allows you to find an arc on every map. It's still amazing. It just doesn't work on barrier hives and breeder fight, and probably not also the kraken. But always pick up an arc. It's amazing. For some reason,
Yeah.
the arc
We got
pistol
a
attachment that you get from the T upgrade is a bit bugged, or maybe not. It has a lower damage multiplier for some reason.
yeah. It's just 25% for some reason. The in the game's code, there are 3 different types of pistol arcs. There's like alien muzzle brake, PI, then there's PA and P3, but they're all just 25% damage. So it's,
Yeah, and then we have the
sadly it's
guns
not
with
anymore, but it's
yeah, the pistols are still really good
good.
though with an arc.
Yeah, the
And then we have the
pistols are
guns with an
so
integrated suppressor that completely messes with the arc for some reason. Like the VKS, like the Honey Badger.
yeah, and the honey badger got taken out of the game just because it didn't work with the arc.
Yeah,
Sad,
big
but
sad. Amazing gun.
honey badger couldn't take an arc. FP6 can't take an extended mags. It's fucking spaghetti code.
The game is spaghetti code for real.
Speaking of spaghetti code, this next one is weird. So the weapon specialist ability, this is referring to the infinite ammo that you get by double tapping, the class button. It says it makes you deal more damage, but it actually makes you deal less damage.
Yeah.
It's it cuts 10% of your damage per shot off for some reason. I don't know why. It just does at every single level. It does this. Um, I don't know if it affects your. It says it gives you the teammates around you a massive damage buff. I haven't tested that at all. I doubt it works. Um,
Yeah, me. I don't trust it either.
but that's not to say it's bad because, especially if you have a gun like,
Chainsaw.
if you can use it to avoid a reload, this is
Mm.
going to increase your damage, right? Like, you got a bulldog, this is crazy. If you have a chainsaw, like you said, and then right as you get to the bottom of the magazine, you hit the weapon specialist ability. So instead of reloading for 4 to 8 seconds, you just keep shooting.
Yeah,
It's
sometimes when I buy a chainsaw and I want to have like Crypto Slayer ammo in there, I just throw a box of Crypto Slayer ammo and instead of reloading, I just double tap the weapon specialist button to instantly reload for me just because it takes
yeah,
so long.
yeah. I mean, with the class upgrade frequency boost, the things come so fast.
Yeah, it's every 30 seconds, right?
Minute 30.
Every minute 30. Okay, so
Yeah,
normally it's
one
3
minute
minutes.
30, and yeah, normally
Ah,
it's
okay.
3 minutes, which is once a hive, and then the class upgrade frequency boost makes it twice a hive. And if you have double class, you can
Yeah,
pop one off every 45 seconds,
it's insane. If you have when the
which
weapon
is just
specialist tank, oh no wait, medic tank, you can be like invincible.
it's like if there was a quad class, you know, you
Yeah,
could, I think you could pop one off every like 22 and a half seconds. So you could have them on for half of the game if there was
yeah,
if
it
there
would
was
be
a quad
sick.
class.
I would love to
And those
have quad class introduced for like 5k teeth.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Quad class will be like
Speedrun
the
dream.
15-year anniversary. Someone just comes back and it's like, all right, here you go.
If this game ever gets modded, that's one of the things that would get put in. Also, some
Yeah.
bugs getting fixed. Okay, then we
It's,
have
speaking speaking of those class abilities that we are talking about for a while, this is their durations over here on the
oh
right.
yeah,
Um, they all last for as you upgrade them, they last longer until it doubles the entire durations. They also some of them also get like stronger as you upgrade them, like the medic upgrade regens at a higher rate the more it's upgraded. Um, but yeah, they're all this these durations, and it doesn't matter whether it's your primary or secondary class. That was a myth. Maybe that was a thing that existed previously, but it doesn't exist now.
yeah, it's been
Yeah,
patched out. I think it was a thing back in the day.
yeah, right. But yeah, just whatever you want for the class setup, they'll last this long.
Yeah, yeah. Then we have armor piercing ammo. If you have the teeth upgrade, that increases the potency of the armor piercing ammo. It deals 1.1 times damage, but only if you hit armor hits. So you won't know you hit an armor because the yellow shields have been removed if you run armor piercing ammo, but it will do more damage. So it's actually better to hit armor than the normal body of equipped. But always try to go for criticals because criticals deal way more damage. So if you see a rhino still shoot in his head, don't try to hit his armor because it will deal more damage. Just shoot his head. Or a scorpion or anything like that.
Yeah, Scorpion's got a big critical hit spot.
Yeah, it's easy to hit criticals in it. Then we have the teeth upgrade for incendiary ammo, which is a big buff. Every pulse deals like 20 to 40 damage of the fire, which is pretty big. And with the buff, it gets with the teeth upgrade, it gets a 1.2 2 times buff, so it becomes even stronger. Go from like 30 to 60 damage, which is great.
Yep. And that only applies to the pulses of fire damage. That's not affecting the bullet itself.
Yeah. And then we have the explosive ammo, which is this is the reason explosive ammo is bad. It gets a 1.1 damage multiplier to all your bullets, but for some reason this multiplier overrides the weapon specialist 20% damage boost at that it always has, and a 50% damage boost at +4. Because of that, it's actually a damage decrease if you run weapon specialist. If you don't run weapon specialist, it's a pretty decent ammo type. But I think weapon specialist is like the meta right now. Everybody uses it. It's amazing. And because of that, explosive ammo is like bottom tier.
Yep. This has been in the game since day one. I checked. Which is interesting because the meta originally in like 2013 was explosive ammo.
Yeah, it used to be big.
Yeah, they nerfed the damage that the explosion itself does by a lot. It used to be it used to be like shooting frag grenades at everything, and so people didn't even notice that it lost these buffs. And people started noticing that like explosive and Cryptid Slayer, because Cryptid Slayer is an explosive ammo.
Yeah.
They started noticing it with shotguns back in like 2014. Once Cryptid Slayer ammo came out, there's a whole thing where people were like, ooh, I don't want to use Cryptid Slayer ammo because I want to use a Bulldog and it makes my shotguns bad because it makes them shoot slugs, and people thought the slugs do less damage.
Yeah.
But that's just it. That's what it does to every weapon. You just notice it more on a shotgun because when you pick up a Bulldog, you're explicitly building your loadout to do as much DPS as possible.
Yeah, and you will know if you get a 1-shot or a 2-shot. It's really easy to notice.
Yeah.
You can't 1-shot a hunter anymore, certainly, or a scorpion.
My video on this one, I think a lot of people have maybe taken the wrong point away from that. My little meta ironic clickbait.
Yeah. Too much clickbait.
Some people think that when you put Cryptid Slayer ammo, it literally cuts your damage down. That's not true. You're getting a damage buff. It's just you're getting a smaller damage buff than you would if you weren't using it.
Yeah, so if you don't run weapon specialist, it's not a problem at all. If you do run weapon specialist, don't upgrade it to +4 because it doesn't do anything. Yeah. But it's still a super viable setup to run weapon specialist with Cryptid Slayer ammo. It's like the best you can have.
Yeah, it's the best in like 95% of situations.
Yeah, only for speedruns. If I need to deal a lot of damage, I don't use it, but otherwise I would always use it.
Yeah, it's like the only time that you would go with like incendiaries or armor piercing with weapon specialist is if you were explicitly building for the highest possible single target DPS.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what you do in speedruns.
Yeah, so you can kill bosses quicker or bury eyes.
But anytime there's a crowd involved, which is pretty much always in Extinction, Cryptid Slayer with Arcing Stun and a +3 weapon specialist is just about as good as you can get.
It's absolutely busted. Like, the Arcing Stun sets everything on fire. all the upgrades apply. That like all these armor piercing incendiary upgrades, the Arcane upgrade, that all applies to Crypto Slayer. It's absolutely busted. Definitely against like groups. You can see like 6 scouts. You shoot 1 bullet, they will all die. Doesn't matter what gun you have. Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
then you can think of the not getting weapon specialist +4 as a kind of buff on its own,
Yeah,
because you don't need it. So now you get your 3 skill points that you can put in some other thing.
yeah, you can go armor or whatever ammo.
Yeah.
Also, last point, engineer +4.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, we did so much testing on this. And apparently,
Yeah.
engineer +4 doesn't do as much as we thought it did. It does buff traps. The traps get a big damage boost. Unfortunately, Tesla traps are not considered traps because they are craftable first. For some reason, it's coded to not be a trap. But all the other traps, fire traps, electric traps, they do get the multiplier, so they are pretty decent. The engineer +4 also buffs explosive damage. At least it says so in the code. With 1.5 times multiplier. We tested all the explosives again. And I think we will talk about it later, but apparently there's only a few explosives that actually get this buff. Like
It's not what you think.
I thought the mortars were buffed by it. I thought the IMS was buffed by it.
I thought
The casket
I
was
did a bunch
buffed
of
by it. The
testing.
moths was buffed by it, but apparently it's not the case. Only a few things actually get buffed.
Yeah, it's bad. I did a bunch of testing previously, like in a previous iteration of the spreadsheet, to try and determine it, and it was so weird. It seemed totally random, and then now what we're learning is that it doesn't apply to shit.
It doesn't apply to shit. It's super
Yeah.
hard to test because explosives hit, for example, mammoths have multiple hitboxes. And if you shoot an explosive, it hits multiple hitboxes. And so if you use an explosive on a mammoth, it will die quicker than a rhino for some reason, because it has more hitboxes than a rhino would have. So it's impossible to test this. But testing on barrier hives and breeders, we figured out what gets the buff and what doesn't. And it's terrible.
Bad. Well, I guess we'll save that reveal for later.
Yeah, we'll have a whole sheet about it.
Okay. And then yeah. Okay, the last damage multiplier, these are defensive, so this is affecting the damage that you take, not the damage you deal. The Seeker Explosion Protection, super cheap tooth upgrade. I think it's 5 teeth.
5
and this
teeth.
is big. I mean, it cuts
Amazing.
25% of the Seeker damage off. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the only upgrades I took when I did a double class speedrun.
Yeah, that's a S tier upgrade.
Yeah, I also
And
I feel like, oh yeah, we'll talk about it later. Go ahead.
oh yeah, yeah. And then the next one is the Take More Damage Relic. I previously thought this was 20% extra damage that you take, but it's actually 33% according to the code. And there's also a little thing in the code that's like target priority increase. I think this might make enemies target you more. At least it says it tries to in the code. I have no idea if that works or what the effect is, but
It's like the tank.
it might. Yeah, right. Maybe it works.
Yeah, sometimes. Okay.
All right.
How long have we been
Next page.
going for?
We're about. It's fine. We're front loading this a lot. We've talked. About
Oh
a lot
shit! We're on page 5 of 50. We're only talking for an hour.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of things that we're gonna cover later in the spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this is gonna be long, dude. I'm recording in 4K 60. This video is gonna be like.
Oh man. Again, the X page can go over really quickly though. This is just the maps
Okay.
that you can find every gun on. So we have the AOX, you can only find in Nightfall. It's been introduced in Nightfall with the Nightfall DLC and Mayday. And it goes for every gun. So SA805 is only on point. Same goes for the SC and the AK. The Ripper is only on the last 3 maps. And I think the this whole sheet explains itself.
Yeah, it's just the easiest way I could think of to tell you what maps which weapons are on.
Yeah.
That's about it. We added in this version we added the launchers and the wonder weapons, but yeah,
Yeah,
this is
indeed. They're
pretty
bottom
self-explanatory.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
All
we
right,
can go to
next
the next
page.
page. Also
So
pretty
this is
self-explanatory.
yeah, this was expanded a lot from the previous version. Previously, this was only top 10. It didn't account for rapid fire. Um, now it does. So everything that's in that we're using the rapid fire damage values for is in bold here, and then you've got all this is just ranking for the by DPS here.
Yeah, so it's the top 24 guns based on the DPS. So you have the Bulldog in
There's
first, MTS. And next one is Disruptor at number 3, which is insane.
yeah, I was thinking about putting the equalizer, like the MK32 and the grenade turret would be way up here.
Yeah, it's true.
But I decided just to keep it to weapons that you could have in your like normal rotation. The
Yeah,
Venom, I I think the Venom would have made this list, but that DPS is different.
inconsistent. Yeah,
It's not it's not like a within mag DPS like all these are. It's weird. So
yeah,
there's no there's no new info on this page. It's just the first two pages but rearranged.
yeah. It's just a quick overview to see what guns are theoretically the best to deal damage. For me, it's really useful in speedruns, so I can see like, oh, this is the best gun I can get in this area for DPS for something.
Yeah, and it tells you what maps
Yeah, it
that
also tells
you
me what
have
maps.
access to these on.
Yeah, really useful sheet.
Yeah.
But I think it explains itself, so we can go over it. Then we have the top tens.
On to our
So
top tens. Okay.
the DPS.
I guess I'll.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the top 24 guns by DPS. Of course, a Bulldog is not ideal for every situation. So the Bulldog is not my favorite gun. So we also made a top 10 for both of us. So then we talk about which guns are actually more useful.
Yeah, I guess I'll do a quick explanation for these guns.
Yeah, go ahead.
I put this list together like a couple months ago, so maybe my feelings have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess my first one, my personal favorite, not not necessarily based on its performance, but that's a big part of it. Um, so the first one, ARX with extended mags. The extended mags is like necessary for this in my opinion, or else you're always running out of ammo and you're reloading all the time. Um, I really like it because of this crazy high full auto DPS. It's the highest full auto DPS in the game, which is pretty cool because with all the guns that are semi-auto that have higher DPSs, you aren't really hitting that maximum value most of the time. So this thing just like consistently melts enemies. It has good range performance as well. Um, I mean, only downside is it's only available on Nightfall and Mayday. It'd be kind of broken on the other maps.
Yeah, I would love to have it on Point
And
or Exodus.
yeah, the next one is the chainsaw. Um,
The GOAT.
honestly, like these top, yeah, this I put Xmags. It's also insane with rapid fire. Um, but for the challenge runs I've been doing recently, I feel like the extended mags is maybe a little better just because of the increased ammo, the decreased cost of buying ammo. Um, well, buying it, you don't have to buy it as often, and you get more out of it when you do. And then the less reloading I like, but yeah, the chainsaw is fantastic. It's available on every single map, which is really convenient. Um, yeah, just super duper mega solid gun.
It's also amazing for
And
finding arc attachments. The best
yeah,
gun to find arc attachments with. It's also another reason why I
it's like
absolutely love it.
it's like several times better than other guns
Yeah.
finding. Yeah, and then MR28 also could be number one.
If you use Crypto Slayer ammo, MR28 goes up. It
Yeah,
becomes so good.
I agree. It one shots everything. Like one shot will kill an entire group. Um, obviously extended mags, there's no rapid fire for it, but yeah, just the this is a very interesting. gun, it's very different than it is in multiplayer. Just insane damage. For some reason, they're like, yeah, let's just make this gun that's available to you in the first area of point of contact just like the literal best thing ever.
Yeah,
Right. Okay, then this is really my only like controversial pick. Uh,
it's yellow.
on my top 10, everything else is good. It's the Maverick with rapid fire. Um, I, I just like how it looks. Honestly, like the Maverick
Yeah,
with
I get
the
what you mean.
with an arc, a grip, and the rapid fire, no sight. This thing looks sexy as fuck. Like the iron sights, like the pole peaks up right through the arc, and you got the big wide ones. Um, and I mean, with with rapid fire, it does like an okay DPS. It's not like abysmal. Um,
Yeah,
you
and
got a good mag size, you got a good reserve ammo. It reloads really fast, so just keep shooting it.
yeah, and the rate of fire is still controllable. If you put like a rapid fire on the ARX, you get like it
Yeah,
becomes a bit uncontrollable and you run out of ammo super quickly. But on the a gun with more bullets and less fire rate, it's a lot better to run rapid fire.
yeah. And so I'll like, I do like tooth grinds on Exodus because I'm just like sometimes I'll do that because I just want to get all the teeth upgrades like unlocked legitly on Steam, and I'll just use the Maverick for like with this setup for like the whole game. And then when I get to the Medusa sequence and it's like, oh, I actually need to like kill ancestors and rhinos, I'll just buy the chainsaw, just totally
Yeah,
swap it out so that I can actually kill things. But yeah, I really like this. Um,
yeah. Also, scouts, scorpions, hunters, they don't have too much HP. They're all like 3-4 shot kills with most guns. So it doesn't really
yeah,
matter which gun you use, as long as you like it, you're consistent with it. Only for like the big ass enemies, DPS is really nice.
yeah, right. And a lot of those situations, you have like the Venom or the Disruptor that you can use to
Yeah,
back you
yeah.
up.
It definitely if
Okay,
with the
and then
slay ammo, it doesn't matter what gun you use, almost. As long as you can
they
shoot.
all just melt. Yeah. Then okay, so I'll keep going. The K7. This is basically just the ARX, but available on the other two maps. Um, honestly, it could be way higher on my list here too. You use extended mags with it for the same reason as the ARX. It's like only reason I would put it maybe below is because of its lower performance at range. I think it's a little harder to hit stuff far away, but it's
Yeah, a bit more
it's
recoil.
really good. It's also like a go-to weapon. Uh, then yeah, Bulldog, insane DPS. I don't really build for it that much anymore. I feel like you gotta go with like the incendiaries and then just absolutely melt everything. But if you wanted to use it with Cryptid Slayer, it would not be nearly as bad as people think like CS shotguns are. You know,
Yeah, it's so amazing.
VKS speedrun champion. Um, yeah, it's the only semi-auto sniper. You can put out some crazy DPS with it, but it is a sniper rifle and you got to use a scope.
Yeah,
you know,
unfortunate.
it's really cool though. If you use the VKS, like sexy as fuck. You just
Yeah.
like, oh, look at him sniping on Extinction and like taking this mammoth to town.
So you can
Um,
kill some things so quickly with the VKS. Because the fire rate's actually ridiculous. It's faster than the
yeah,
Bulldog.
you can shoot that thing so fast.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then the SA-805. This is just the ARX number 3. Um, it's available on Point of Contact. So I mean, you have the SA on Point of Contact, the K7 on Awakening Nexus, and the ARX on Nightfall and Mayday. So there's like this type of like high fire rate, but also high damage gun is available on every map. It's just split up between these three.
Yeah.
Uh, the Vector kind of feels like uh, I guess it's a little bit different. It's kind of like a middle ground where it hits hard, but it doesn't shoot like super fast either. I guess it kind of feels like the something like a Maverick in that regard, but
Yeah.
it just feels really solid. It's easy to hit stuff.
Yeah, in my opinion, the Vector is like really consistent because the reload is like the
Yeah,
fastest in the game. So if you're running Crypto Slayer ammo, it's just nice to put out bullets. So everything gets on fire, everything is being electrocuted, everything dies slowly. And with the Vector, you can just consistently put out bullets, damage everything, make sure that nothing touches the drill. Like with the chainsaw, the downside is of course a big as reload time. So sometimes you have some
yeah,
downtime. But with the Vector, you can always shoot.
right. Yeah, consistent's a good word for it.
Yeah.
And then so the M27 with rapid fire. This is another like I was kind of debating like I could throw some other like a stock SMG or an AR or something in here, but I went with this one because it's very different. You know, it's only available on point of contact. It's we'll get to this later, but it's one of the weapons that um has like a higher overall DPS when you use rapid fire, which is weird. There's only like 3 of them that do that. Um, it looks cool, and it's pretty solid as well. I mean, it's an LMG with like a fast reload time, which is pretty interesting. You know,
Yeah.
so that's my top 10.
Yeah, the reload time is
What do
amazing
you
for the
got?
M27.
Yeah,
Okay, then we have my top 10. I'm gonna go over it pretty quickly, but I think I have mostly
yeah,
the same guns, and I think strong points of the guns have already been mentioned. But I'm going with the chainsaw rapid fire, actually. The rapid fire just makes it so stupidly strong, and there is so many ways to skip the reload. So, for example, in my Exodus
yeah,
speedrun, I need to spawn trap a fuck ton of rhinos, and with a chainsaw with Crypto Slay ammo +3, I can melt rhinos, throw down Crypto Slay ammo, instant reload, and keep melting rhinos. And I love that. It's so nice. I can also
yeah,
use Weapon Specialist to instantly reload the chainsaw. But if you go more casual, it's not the best gun because the reload time is extremely long. But if you know how to avoid your reloads, if you just want stupid DPS, chainsaw is my go-to.
yeah,
Then we have like the 3 guns Eric mentioned, the K7, the ARX, and the SA. It's all basically the same gun, but on a different map. The K7 is a bit different because it has it's SMG, so you have a bit higher movement speed, a bit more recoil, but it's amazing. So that's why I put it on the top, because I like the movement speed. I like running and jumping around because I'm that speed runner, I guess. ARX, amazing. SOA, I'm gonna put below the ARX because it has a slightly lower reload speed, slightly lower damage, but still really good gun. Then we have the MR28. MR28 with Crypto Slayer ammo is probably the most insane gun ever. People use it in 8 Relic runs just because it's so good. Then we have the Vector. Vector is really consistent. If you have Crypto Slayer ammo, you can just shoot everything, make sure everything's on fire. It's really easy to protect the drill with. If you play a high score game, you're gonna support someone. It's what you would use probably, just because you can always shoot when you need to, which is really important to protect the drill. You don't want to be in a reload when you see a hunter approaching the drill. Then I have a DMR, DEA2. For some reason, this gun just feels really nice. I don't know why. I like fire guns, like I always have, and I don't know. I just love using it. It's not the best DPS wise, but it's pretty decent. Definitely if you get the fire rate going. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just put it on there.
yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah,
It's a
my
good
top
like
10 changes.
se- secret pick.
Yeah, underrated gun for sure. But
Yeah,
all guns in Extinction are really balanced. Like I have a different gun I want to use every day, I guess. Well, I have to.
yeah. It's so different in zombies from zombies in that regard, where like everything works. It's not like you have like the zombies like 1911 starting pistol that's just literally unusable.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
There's nothing trash. Everything is balanced in some way. Like more damage, more ammo, uh, more control. The only real shit guns are like the snipers and the Tech 12. And the launchers, of
Yeah, yeah.
course. Just don't use
The
those
launches are
and you will
ass.
be good. Then I have my three DPS guns. The Bulldog, the MTS, and the VKS, which I use in speedruns just because the DPS potential is so stupid. With the Bulldog, you can melt those barrier hives, you can melt mammoths, you can melt rhinos. Like, you can spawn trap rhinos before they even like spawn, you can kill them with the Bulldog and the MTS, which is lovely. VKS Sniper also gives bonus money because of the teeth upgrade, which is nice. And if you know how to handle it, it can be so good. So I had to put it in my top 10.
Yeah.
And I think that about covers it.
Yep. Go on to page 9.
Page 9 out of 50.
Go. Okay, this is new. This is so this at first is going to be like an overwhelming amount of information, but what we've got here is a comparison between rapid fire and extended mags for every single weapon that can take both. So the damage values are just from further up in the spreadsheet. Fire rate same. Further up spreadsheet. The within mag DPS, these are the damage values that we've already seen. Um, and
Yeah.
the color code here is just green means rapid fire wins, and blue means extended mags wins, and then this red is just sleight of hand. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So then here's how much ammo the guns have. Again, we've seen this before. And then this is new. So the total damage. This is the amount of damage, the maximum amount of damage you can do by emptying a full mag of this. So, and all of the stuff, all the damages so far, we're not talking about. Uh, these don't have any damage multipliers. It's just the base damage of the gun, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, your extended mags is doing 50% more total damage every time. Then here's the reload times, and we need this to calculate the overall DPS. Uh, the reload times, I'm assuming we're going from a fully empty mag, so you have like the extra like, bolt release animation, and then the sleight of hand is just twice as fast. And then here's where the magic happens. The overall DPS. So what this is the total damage that the weapon can do in one mag divided by the amount of time it takes you to shoot that mag and reload another one. It's the same way as I calculated the Venom's damage. And so despite rapid fire being a 17% buff to fire rate and therefore a 17% buff to the damage DPS you do within a mag, if you have to reload and you don't have sleight of hand, then extended mags has a higher DPS on every single gun.
Yeah.
Just because you're reloading so much less. Now, granted, most enemies are going to die within a mag, but also you are going to be just continuously shooting new enemies. So this is more relevant than you might think.
Yeah, there
But
are
then
some
something
ways to
interesting.
avoid a reload, but most of the time you're
Yeah,
just gonna have to reload after every mag.
yeah, unless you've got like weapon specialist um, ability or um,
Ammo box plus
the
3.
ammo box, or like a rapid fire and extended mags conveniently on the ground for you to swap between.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't have sleight of hand, extended mags is probably your way to go in most circumstances.
Yeah, extend max is
But something
busted
interesting
for sure.
happens. Yeah. When you have sleight of hand. So sleight of hand, is massively increase or decreasing your reload time. And when you factor that in, these overall DPS numbers become a lot closer for most weapons. Like a lot of these are only 10 to 30 DPS apart, which is like not noticeable at all. And there's 3 cases where the rapid fire is actually dealing more damage over time than the extended mags is. Like the fire rate buff, uh, or the whole not reloading thing is beat out by the fire rate buff on the Maverick, the R5, and the M27, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, these are also the guns with
um,
already very fast reloads, so
yes, yeah,
yeah,
these are.
that's why
If you
the
were to look at what these guns are, is they are slower fire rate, big mag, uh, fast reload. So they're already set up to just almost be shooting continuously anyways.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what this page is. Extended mags is usually better in most circumstances, but there are a couple situations where you might want rapid fire instead. It's the takeaway here.
Yeah. It's also really nice to just see all the reload speeds of the guns. If you go to
Yeah, because we
this
didn't have
link,
this.
you can see all the reload speeds of literally all guns. Here we only have the weapons that can take rapid fire. But if you want to see the reload of the VKS, MR, anything, Bulldog, you can go to this link and it'll bring you to the place where we pulled the data from.
Yeah, and this is simplified, right? This is only the empty mag reloads. That's the like the best case for measuring overall DPS, because if you're reloading off of a not finished mag, then
Gets
these
complicated.
numbers would be different, and also there'd be like infinitely many scenarios.
Yeah.
But
Then we could be here
this is like the
forever.
best case. Yeah, so very
Yeah.
it's kind of a fun exercise to do.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Okay, so
Next
enemy
page.
HP.
Enemy HP, yes.
Yep. You want to do
Um,
this one or should I?
yeah, we covered that page 1.
Yeah.
But there was only a
The
few
this,
enemies. Now we're gonna cover like every health bar. So here's the normal enemies that you have, but we also cover like random stuff like the breeder healing bolt, tentacle, that kind of stuff.
the what we have also on here is the damage that
Oh
they do
yeah,
to you.
that's really
That we
important.
didn't have that at all in the beginning, and as well as the cash that you get for killing one of these guys. An important thing to note about the damage values here, they're slightly randomized from hit to hit, which made it really difficult to test these things. But luckily, most of these, or all the ones that you see with like a range here, are numbers that I pulled out of the data mine. Um, it's
Yes.
like it's.
So what
I
this
don't know if we
means
have any
if two
Pokemon players.
yeah yeah it's a high roll and a low roll. But basically what
Yeah,
this
that's
means,
what
if you
it
get hit
is.
by a scout twice, you can take different amounts of damage, which is
And
crazy.
I think the biggest example, or the most consequential one, is the Phantom, because his range, the 33 and 34. If you get all 33s, you'd have 1 HP left. But if you take even a single 34, he'll 3-shot you.
Yeah, Phantoms can be scary.
So yeah, especially if they get glitched, and they're supposed to hit you twice and run away so
Mm-hmm.
that you don't get insta killed by them. But if he gets stuck on something,
Yeah, if he
he
hits
just hits
you
you
and
four
you
times.
stun him with critical stay ammo, sometimes he hits you again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it can be bad.
they're, they're silly.
But yeah,
And
damage values, so you know how much damage you take. Of course, armor helps, like reduces damage. Instead of you taking the damage, armor will take this damage. But yeah, some damage values might surprise you. Like a Scorpion Big Shot does 40 damage.
that's huge.
It's a big amount of damage, and then it also leaves gas, which deals 5 damage a second, or pulse. And Scorpions can be scary. Anything that explodes has a big damage range. If like really far away from the explosion, you take 1 damage from a Seeker, or a 10. And if you're close to it, you take 40, which is a big chunk.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of these values you might not expect. Like the Seeker Meteor does 115 if you get
Yeah,
hit by it.
if he lands on top of
Like
you,
direct
you
hit.
die really fast.
Yeah, but you can survive it if you're a tank.
Mm-hmm. This has killed me a
And
lot
then
of times in point of contact speedruns.
most of the stuff here hasn't changed. The I did add this little thing down here for the drill damage per second. So this is when a scout or a hunter is riding the drill, like just one enemy on it. The scout does 1 damage a second. The hunter does 2.5 in solo, and then in co-op, doesn't matter how many players are in, just co-op. Um, these numbers go up a bit to 175 and 4.
Yeah.
This 1 damage per second from a scout's kind of interesting because um, if you can get this is only really relevant for like stupid challenge runs like 10 relic thing. Um, if you can get a scout on the drill, if the hive is short enough, you might only need to repair the drill 1 time, but the scout won't be able to kill it fast enough.
Yeah. So in some cases, it's better to just let a scout hit the drill than risk a hunter getting on the drill because a hunter can delete the drill so fast.
So much faster.
Yeah.
And then these HP multipliers only apply to like the regular enemies. The bosses are weird. Um,
Yeah, they're special.
yeah, we'll get to those later.
Yeah, we have a whole boss section later.
Yeah.
Okay. Page 10.
All right.
Let's go. Page 11.
I'll cover the HP region. You
Yeah,
get the searching.
you
So
figured this out. Go ahead.
this was tough. This took a massive strain on my well-being. Um, so HP regen is weird, like everything else. Um, it's kind of split into 2 different parts. I call them continuous and pulse healing. Uh, so the continuous healing is, you get hit a bunch, and then there's this delay of 3 seconds by default, where you're just waiting for your health to start regenning, and if you get hit before this delay is up, it resets the delay, right? And then once that delay is gone, you start regenning at this rate, 2.87 HP per second. Doesn't really matter what the number is. What do matter are these multipliers. So if you have the HP regen armory upgrade, it goes up by 17%. It's like rapid fire. Uh, it's like rapid fire for your health regen.
Nice.
Then Ferals makes it 40%, so it's a lot faster. And Ferals also
Ferals
cuts
plus 2.
the delay down quite a bit, which is, yeah, Ferals +2 or higher. I'll do this. It cuts the initial delay down, so you start healing quicker. And then the fragile relic um, is a 0.64x multiplier. It's kind of random, but that's what it is. And it also massively increases the amount of time you have to wait for your health to start regenning. That's all pretty simple on the surface. It gets weird when you try to combine them. So
Yeah, they don't
there's
combine.
kind of a
They just stack,
hierarchy
I
here.
guess.
They just get rid of each other, right? So there's a
Oh, are you still
hierarchy
looking
here.
at fragile? I thought you were thinking about medic.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or well, I'm looking at the notes. Um,
Oh yeah, fuck.
so so
Yeah, here.
the the HP the armory upgrade is on the bottom. Then Ferals is above it. Then Fragiles is above all of them. So they don't combine at all. So the multiplier, the 17% from the armory upgrade gets killed by Ferals, and
Yeah.
you only get the Ferals uh, multiplier. And then when you have fragile, you only get the fragile multiplier. It doesn't matter if you have Ferals or the armory upgrade. It's just the fragile multiplier, which is fun. It's like stand your ground. How Ferals beats stand your ground for movement speed. Fragile beats Ferals for health regen. It's weird. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
And then a note about fragile is when you sprint with fragile, it pauses your health regen, but it doesn't reset it. It's like once you stop sprinting, your health will immediately start regenerating, assuming you haven't taken damage, right? Um, Now the pulse healing, this is more like an additive thing. This isn't multiplying your health regen at all. It's like stacking onto it as well.
Yeah.
So when you upgrade your medic to +2, it gives you little chunks of health at a time. That's the pulse. You get 5 HP per pulse uh, at so 0.5 pulse per second. This means that you get one of these every 2 seconds, right? And so that translates into this HP regen rate, and it's like it like doubles your base regen, but it's absolutely nothing compared to what the medic ability does. Um, the medic ability is crazy good when you upgrade it. So it starts out only giving you 12 per pulse, and it gives you 2 pulses per second. Not a pulse per 2 seconds, 2 pulses per second. So you get this crazy HP regenerate, and as you upgrade it, it uh it lasts for longer and it's giving you health faster. So you're like almost unkillable with it at +4.
Yeah.
Um,
Unless you like
these
instantly explode, then you're good.
yeah, unless you if you have like 3 mammoths on you, you can't tank it. But I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much any normal circumstance, this makes you basically invincible. Um, these values are not affected at all by anything over here, which is convenient.
Yeah.
Also, the when with the fragile sprinting, it pauses the medic +2 regen. It does not pause the medic ability, so that keeps going. And then yeah, here's the fastest possible HP regen rate. You fill your entire health bar in 2 seconds. And then on the opposite side of that, if you have fragile and like a maxed out tank, which might happen for like the 10 relic half mortal setup, it takes the entire hive to heal yourself, assuming you don't get hit ever,
Yeah, it takes
which is a
forever.
little crazy. But yeah, that's the health regen section. It was not fun to test.
Yeah, I will do the searching. I tested that a while ago now when I made that video about how to get more arc attachments. But what I found out is that each box has a 1 in 3 chance to be an attachment. And you can only find attachments that are valid for your weapon that you're currently holding. The only exception to this is weapons that can only take an arc or an extend max, like snipers and pistols. For some reason, or at the start of the game, extend max and arcs weren't programmed in the game. So those guns were programmed to find any attachment. But all the other guns can only find attachments that they can actually equip. So if you search with the gun out, that can search for less attachments, you have a higher chance of finding the ones you want. So for example, if you have a chainsaw, which can only find 4 attachments, the rapid fire, muzzle brake, arc, and extend max, you have a 1 in 12 chance to find an arc attachment, because it's a 1 in 3 that your search box is an attachment, and then you have 4 different attachments that you can get. So every box you search with with a chainsaw in your hand, you have a 1 in 12 chance of finding an arc, which is pretty decent. In comparison with an AR or a sniper or a pistol, with those guns you can find every attachment in the game, which is like 8 different attachments. So, or even 9. And
If
your
it's 9,
chances. Yeah,
yeah,
there's 3 different scopes. There is the burst fire. There's so many attachments. And your chances drop significantly to a 1 in 27. So if you really want to find an arc attachment, I recommend choosing with a chainsaw or a whipper or a shotgun. I made a whole video about it, covering like every gun and what attachment every gun can have and what guns are best for searching. Arc attachments are really good. So are extend mags. So actually changing the gun that you search with might be helpful in the game, which is also a reason why chainsaw is. I like the chainsaw so much, because I often need
yeah, that's
extend mags or rapid fires or arcs in my runs, in my speed runs, and chainsaw just helps getting me those.
yeah, that's a really good reason to have it at the top of your list. This video is really good. Like this this whole search, the chainsaw arc searching, had it was kind of like a myth for a long time.
Yeah,
There's like one guy that tested it, but I think he only tested like one game.
yeah, the
Yeah,
video was
this
shit.
video is like the first like legit actual like research into this, and it's huge.
I played so many games and I searched so many boxes every game. You don't want to know. I had like a whole notebook full of how do you call it? Like stripes. Every time I found an arc, I would put one
Oh
stripe. Every
yeah,
time I searched the box, I would put a stripe down. It was like crazy work.
yeah. There was a point when I wanted to try to like find like get the entire search box like distribution,
Hmm.
and my plan was to search up like 2,000 boxes, but it would have gotten me nowhere. It's so weird. This is like the one thing that matters from searching is
Yeah,
finding
exactly.
arcs. Search with the chance. I mean, I guess like flares too, but there's nothing you do about that.
Yeah, if you want a flare or a trophy system or hyper knives or those kind of things, just search before you buy a gun. Then you have no
Yeah.
attachments at all. As soon as you buy a gun, you get attachments. So for some reason, if you do like a challenge run, you need flares or hyper knives or trophies, search first, then buy a gun, and then get attachments. Most times you can get a gun with most attachments equipped already, except for an arc from the locker. So yeah, you might want to use that.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right. On to
movement speed.
movement speed. So this is another one. This one's been around for a while.
Yeah,
Um, I reformatted it. I redid a lot of this because a lot more information came out, and I added the weapon speed multipliers as well. So to go over this, it's kind of like the health regen in that some of these multipliers cancel each other out. So by default, let's say you move at 1. You move at 1 unit distance per unit time, right? It's some number, but all that matters is that this is your default. Medic plus 1 makes it 6% faster. Medic plus 4 makes it 12% faster. These numbers are straight out of the code. I used to not have um, I used to have a whole thing here about like sprint or sprint multiplier because that's like what I was measuring, but I was just the these are very slight changes, and it's kind of hard to pick that up with like a smartphone timer and a recording.
yeah,
Um, yeah, so these are those multipliers. Stand your ground relic is a 0.7x multiplier, so it cuts you down slower than any weapon you can hold would. And then barrels is a 20% speed boost. Um, it's weird. Notice it's in orange. Um, so
it
yeah,
cancels
okay. This is
everything out.
honestly Yeah, this is honestly easier than the health regen. When you throw ferals, everything you had here in this box, the base movement speed, goes away. It dies, it becomes 1.2 until the ferals runs out. So ferals just kills every other multiplier.
Yeah,
Um,
with ferals you're
and
really
I
fast.
have, yeah, you're really, really fast. I have some examples of that here. Um, well, actually, hold on. Let me. There's two components to movement speed. There's your base movement speed, which is just affecting it's your base movement speed, right? That's
Yeah,
self-explanatory. And then the weapon is whatever gun you're currently holding at the time is a multiplier that goes on top of your base movement speed. It multiplies it, right? So if you have your pistol upgraded to +1, it's a 10% speed buff times whatever your base movement speed is, right? Whether your base movement speed is some combination of these guys or if your base movement speed is from ferals, it's 1.1 times that. And so is the list of all the movement speeds. Um, when you get to like the riot shield and the death machine, when you upgrade them, you get movement speed buffs, and so those are accounted for here as well. And then here's some examples on in this middle table here of how this arithmetic works with the ferals canceling everything out, right? And so, like for example, if you have medic 4 and stand your ground and ferals activated, you only get ferals. It doesn't matter that you have everything else; it's just ferals. Um, but if you have, you know, ferals and your pistol, that weapon speed multiplier does apply still, right?
oh yeah, then you have the
Um,
maximum speed you can have.
this is the highest you can go is 1.32. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and then uh, sprint duration default lasts 4 seconds, and then once that's up, it recharges for 4 seconds to get back to having 4 seconds of sprint you can expend.
yeah,
Any of the upgrades increase that to 8 seconds, and these don't stack at all. Um, and do you want to talk about the IMS sprint?
yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
default sprint speed with any gun is 4 seconds or sprint duration. But if you have no gun in your hand or a combat knife, but the combat knife is not in extinction, it's only multiplayer. But if you would have the combat knife or no gun in your hand, your sprint duration is actually 7 seconds instead of 4. In extinction, you can trick the game into thinking you have no gun in your hand by holding an IMS or a unbought turret It has to be unbought. If you actually bought the IMS and pick it up, it doesn't work. It has to be like pulled out so you can buy it, but you don't actually buy it. But the game thinks you have no gun in your hand, and it will increase the sprint duration to 7 seconds. And if you have ferals, you can double this sprint duration just like it would normally do to 14 seconds. And 14 seconds of sprint is a lot of sprint. You can sprint for
Yeah,
a while. The thing is that you also need to not sprint for 14 seconds to actually sprint for 14 seconds. So
it has to charge up.
yeah, the cooldown is as long as your sprint is. So if you want to sprint for 8 seconds with just ferals, you wait for 8 seconds and then sprint for 8 seconds. So if you want to sprint for 14 seconds, you also have to wait 14 seconds. So that's unfortunate, because otherwise it would be pretty busted. But I do use it in some speedruns.
Yeah, yeah. That there's a video explaining it really good. It makes a lot of sense when you watch it happen.
Yeah, I just watched this video. Wait, yeah, this video. It's damn, I can't select it. Yeah, this one. It's one of my speedruns, but I use it to skip like a meteor. I just completely run underneath it, which is insane.
Yep. And so the sprint speed is 35% faster than your default movement speed, right?
Yeah.
And then like yeah, I mentioned that you can't extend your sprint duration by combining these. There's one more important thing to know here, really only if you're doing a speed run. It's that the drill speed is the same. The drill's movement speed is the same as whatever weapon you had in your hands while you picked it up. So it's whatever, which one of these numbers you had, with one exception. Unfortunately, the pistol's 10% speed buff uh, it's like tied to having that weapon specifically out. Um, so when you pick up a drill, this 10% speed buff for the pistol goes away, and it just becomes like a pistol normal, like a +0. Um, which is why in speed runs you see people not getting like the pistol upgrade, even though it seems like you would want it, because it doesn't
Yeah.
actually help when you have the drill.
I do always get it because I think when you just pick up the drill, you have that increased
That's true.
sprint for like until it's in your hand. So I do always get it, but it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, yeah. There's some weird stuff with like picking the drill up and putting it down. But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I think that's good for movement speed.
Yeah. Let's do the
All
teeth.
right, you want to take the teeth?
I will do the teeth. I figured this whole thing out. For this, I also did a lot of testing. So this is set in stone now. It's this is how it works. So if you complete
This is it.
any map, you get 5 teeth, except for Exodus for some reason. You get 6 teeth. In Exodus, there's also ancestors, and if you kill all the ancestors in the game, you get an extra teeth. So Exodus is theoretically the best map to grind teeth on. Player on hardcore increase the teeth you get when you complete the mission with 3. Very basic. Relics, you get 1 teeth extra for completion with a relic. So if you run 1 relic, you get 1 extra teeth. If you run 3 relics, you get 3 extra teeth. But 3 relics is the maximum amount of teeth you can run to get extra teeth from. So if you run 10 relics, you still only get 3 extra teeth. If you complete 10 challenges in a match, you will immediately get 2 teeth. You can see that pop up in your game as well, like, oh, you found 2 teeth. So always try to do all the challenges. Because the next one, if you fail 0 challenges in a match, you get the completionist, which is 4 extra teeth. So always go for the challenges. It rewards you 6 extra teeth. It's really a lot, because you can only 6 for completion, so you can double it just with doing all the challenges. Yeah, then killing all the ancestors in Exodus, I talked about it there, but it gives you an extra teeth. So during the Medusa fight, make sure to wait for all 3 ancestors to spawn and kill them, so you get this extra teeth. It's only like a few seconds extra waiting. I think I'm one of the only persons that can even finish the Medusa
Yeah,
fight before the 3rd ancestor spawns, so I
very,
don't even need to mention this.
very rare. Does does this mean you have to kill all 5, like the 2 throughout the game, or just the 3 at the end?
um, Good
It's very
question.
rare that you don't kill the other two,
Yeah,
honestly.
why
But
wouldn't you
I
kill
guess that's
the
a
other? I
possibility,
don't. I think you need to
right?
kill the last three though, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But just kill all of them to be sure.
Yeah. You're
Then
gonna get this every single time you play it.
yeah, you can't miss this one. You also immediately get it,
You have to
even if you
try.
die. You like immediately get it in your match. Uh, then you have 300 kills. So every 300 kills, you get a extra teeth. This is what we use in the AFK teeth farm to grind teeth, but we'll get to it later. In a normal game, you make about 600 kills, so you get 2 teeth from kills. Bonus pool, every 24 hours, the bonus pool resets. If you complete the first area in a game, you get an extra teeth. Every time you prestige, you get a teeth. And if you help someone complete the map for the first time, you also get a teeth. Also, if you complete it yourself for the first time, you get an extra teeth. So if you do a Exodus run, which gives you 6 teeth, you run hardcore, you get 9 teeth. You run 3 relics, 12 teeth. Complete all challenges, 14 teeth. Fail 0 challenges, you get a completionist, you have 16 teeth. You kill all the ancestors, 17.
18.
18 miscounted. Uh, Killing all the ancestors gets you 18.
That takes you to 19.
19. And then you get about 600 kills, so you get 21 teeth a game, which is an absurd amount. Uh, I can do this super consistently. I did this for 24 hours, just running Exodus, grinding teeth. And I think I got 700 teeth in 24 hours.
Yeah. I
Oh,
have. I've been when I mentioned way earlier. I was doing the Exodus like tooth grind on Steam.
mm-hmm.
I've been keeping track of it. Like I have a very detailed spreadsheet, like keeping all this track of all this stuff. And so these are like my current stats of like, so I've recorded 68 games, then 91.2% of them are completionists. I'm saying like 37 minutes average, and so that's like you said, 21 teeth. I'm averaging 20.8 a game. Uh, the highest games will be like 24 if everything lines up with like the
Yeah, if you have the
prestige and
bonus
bonus
pool and the
pool and everything
prestige.
hitting. Yeah, so 20.8 teeth per game, and then that's 34 teeth an hour, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good. Also, you get a teeth if you reach level 2, 6, 11, and 21 for the first time, which is only important if you're like brand new to the game or if you want to.
Yeah, that's when your prestige 0. That doesn't keep happening.
Yeah, exactly.
That
So it's only if you make a new account. So yeah, the fastest way is speedrun Exodus. I made a video about it. It's a really good video. What you can also do if you have friends that are almost completing a game in co-op, you can join them and do the escape, and you will get the mission complete teeth. And if it's hardcore, you will also get the hardcore teeth. You don't get relic teeth. You don't get challenge teeth, but you do get the completion teeth. So if you join a game and they are playing hardcore and they have a completionist, you can get like 12 teeth by just doing the escape with them, which is theoretically really fast. But of course, you need friends to play Extinction, which is really rare these days.
yeah, it's you gotta choreograph that shit. But if you really, really, really wanted to, you could get like hundreds of teeth an hour with this.
Yeah, but it's almost impossible because you need
It,
a
it,
lot of friends to
it
set
would
it up.
be impossible to set that up like on
Yeah.
that scale.
Then we have the AFK Tooth Farm. Uh, with a bunch of glitches, it's possible to create an infinite grenade turret. This infinite grenade turret can be picked up by a teammate, and then it will never disappear. It will never time out. And if you rubber
Normally it
band your
lasts.
controller, you can shoot indefinitely. So you can put it on during the night, and as you might know, if you don't plant the drill in the next hive, aliens will start to spawn, and those aliens will die by the grenade turret that's aimed at like your feet. It is slow, but it does give 4 teeth an hour. So if you leave it on for a night, you get about 50 teeth.
Yeah, so it's not meant to be your like it, I'm in absolutely no way do I claim this is the best way to earn teeth.
No, it's really
It's
slow.
it's crazy slow. It's meant to be like a thing you do on the side, right? Because the game is 10 years old. We don't need to expect everyone to drop like the 300 hours it takes of grinding to get um
Yeah, it does
like
take a
double
stupid
class.
amount
So
of time.
like you want to try out double class, you want to try out Cryptid Slayer ammo, just let this thing run for like a week, 2 weeks, and there you go. You got it. You while you're at work, while you're at school, while you're doing whatever, you can just have this thing running in the background. You'll get you'll be able to unlock all those armory upgrades. Um, Caveat, warning, whatever. I would recommend you reset the farm once a day if you're doing one of those big extended grinds. Like let it run for um I don't know, maybe let it run for 23 hours, then end the match, turn your turn your console off, let it cool down, start it back up again, just so that well, like one, you're not like ruining your console, and also if you have like 500 teeth going on a game that's been running for a whole week, and then you lose power or your internet drops or anything happens, you lose all of the teeth you had in that session. So you kind of like it's a good idea to do like a checkpoint once a day. So the most you can ever lose is 100 teeth.
Yeah,
Um, Also use a shit controller that you don't need because this will ruin your triggers.
yeah, there's springs in your triggers, and the springs will become weaker if you keep them pressed in.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have an old controller, it's really nice to do it during the night. Also, if you make too many kills in a game, so I think if you run it for like 2 days already, you get a stack overflow and your game will end. So definitely reset it once a day if you're gonna do this.
Yeah.
I use this myself to get all the teeth upgrades on my local account. I was not gonna do that again. I always play online when I do speed runs and that kind of stuff or score runs. And yeah, I needed it on my local account. I was not gonna play thousands of games on my local account, so I just did it there, for example.
Yeah, I did the same. I was grinding my local play account um to get like double class so I could do speed runs offline and not worry about my internet dropping or anything.
Yeah.
Um, and I got like 700 teeth in, and then some guy. This glitch originated just from some fucking guy on a Discord server. He was like, "Hey, by the way, here's how you totally break the game."
Beautiful.
And so, yeah, right. So then I did that the rest of the way. If you if you ever want to play with half mortal, you're probably gonna have to do this
Yeah.
because you know local play only. And then I have some frequently asked questions that I get regarding the AFK tooth farm. Number one, is this patched? No.
No,
Will this get me banned? Also no.
you do
There's
ruin the leaderboards by getting a million kills, but that's okay.
yeah
The
yeah
leaderboards are not important. It's an old game.
fucks up the yeah it fucks up the kills leaderboard and stuff.
Like
Um
only if you go to weekly, you will be like number one
yeah
kills. Even if you go to F forever, some people have millions of kills.
I bet this also trashes your cash flow.
Oh yeah, it ruins your
But
stats, but who cares?
yeah, right. I mean, as long as you don't care about the stats and you got a spare controller, this is just do it. No judgment. Just
Yeah, I don't
get your
judge.
upgrades. Enjoy the game.
Also, side note, nobody knows this. You can also hack your teeth on PC. I made a video about this. It's not on a spreadsheet because it's illegal.
Yeah, it's a little suspect. You got to do
It's a little
I've done it
sus.
myself,
I've also done it.
but it's like I hacked the teeth and then I'm going back and I'm earning the teeth like retroactively so I can feel good about myself and also like play the game on my really nice computer.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But if you don't want to
yeah, I
grind all
mean,
the teeth and you have it on PC, yeah, you can watch that video. It's on my channel. You can hack 2,555 teeth in, which is enough to buy every teeth upgrade, and then you're done.
yeah, just be careful to do exactly what it says in the
Yeah, do
video.
exactly
You
what it
won't.
says. Don't use the cheat engine for any other thing. It's might get you banned. Do exactly what I
Yeah,
do, and then you won't get banned. If you need help with it, just hit me up on Discord.
yeah.
I also have a video about what teeth upgrades are the best. Some teeth upgrades are just insane. Some teeth upgrades are really expensive, so I do recommend getting a few of the cheaper ones before getting the stupid expensive ones, just to help you with the grind. So in this video, I made like an order of what you should buy, what to prioritize, what to immediately buy, like toughness, because they're just so important. I think toughness reduces the flinch in this game. The flinch is insane. And then I talk about the bigger teeth upgrades, like Master Scav, Critter Slayer, and Double Class, which are really expensive. That's like the big grind. And then the teeth upgrades are less important. So yeah, watch this video. It's if you want to know what teeth upgrades to get.
Yep, it's a really good video. That tier list way was a really good way to show it.
Yeah.
Okay,
People
so
love
then the
tier
Hive
list.
Duration. Yeah, it's really good. It's not just like here's the things ranked. It's this is the order you should get them in.
Yeah, it's more important.
That's
Because otherwise,
yeah,
Double
right.
Class would just be at the top and shit. But it's also stupid
Yeah, right. Because
expensive.
I mean, and it's not like you have to pick between the tooth upgrades once you have them all. You just put all of them on.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
This is just
So
information. It's good
yeah,
to
the Hive.
have.
Yeah, good to know. The Hives last this long. This chart's been around for a while, but I did add the time until enemies spawn section. And yeah, you read this at your own leisure. There's this 2 hours 47 minutes. It's a very interesting number. It's what it is. I've tested this a lot, wasted a lot of time on that. Um, yeah, there's a lot of spots where you think that you have infinite time, and effectively you do, right? I mean, you have almost 3 hours between the areas, but it's not actually infinite. More you know.
Yeah. Did you know if you spawn in a point of contact, even before you do an hive, aliens can start to spawn after 2 hours and 47 minutes?
Oh, I never tested that. Oh,
I
shit.
I was resetting for score runs. I got good hives, but I was cooking as well. So I
Yeah.
cooked, I ate, and then I suddenly went out. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go out, and then I came back and I was dead. I was so surprised, but apparently aliens do start to spawn after 2 hours and 47 minutes, even if you don't place the drill.
Yeah. It's weird. There are plenty of areas where it is legitimately an infinite amount of time, but yeah, it's this whatever 100 what is that? 100 67 minutes. I guess there's some significance there. Maybe there's like some integer limit involved with this, but yeah.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, just good information to have.
Yeah.
Do you know how much time you have before enemies start spawning in regular and hardcore difficulty? Also, nice to know how long every hive takes.
Yep. And then
Next section.
next section, the XP notes. This hasn't really changed much. Only thing it's just straight list of information about experience points, right? Um, so the Rhino run is the fastest way you can get XP in the game. I actually have it up here in the time until enemies spawn, but you go into the third area of point of contact, and then after 6 minutes of just killing the enemies that spawn, it starts to spawn infinitely respawning rhinos. And if you go into casual point of contact with, oh, actually, you don't need engineer except for the money. Engineer is useful for mortars.
Red tank.
Not because it makes them do more damage, just because it makes you be able to hold 8k.
Yeah, but that's not even important. Just run tank, to be honest.
Yeah, just tank and weapon specialist, you can get the mortars out faster.
So you don't die.
Yeah, and there's a video showing it. It's yeah, it literally just farm rhinos with mortars on casual.
Yeah,
Dub.
rhinos give a lot of
Siege every
XP.
45 minutes.
The amount of XP you get from an alien is pretty much based on the amount of HP they have. So big alien give big XP. Small alien give less.
Yeah.
If you do the AFK T
Exactly.
farm, you actually also get a lot of XP.
Yeah.
You probably
And,
T
that's
slice
fully
once or
AFK.
twice. So if you just want the levels, you can also do that, I guess. But normally you just level up while you play. You don't need to worry about XP that much.
Yep. Yeah. Usually this isn't. There's only very very specific circumstances where you
Like only
need
if you
to
really
level
want
up
to
your
do
ass.
relic runs and you need 9 prestiges as fast as possible, this can be useful. But you can be there in uh, little time if you really want it with this method.
Yep. And then here's the XP required to complete each level. Nothing crazy here. Um, yeah, that is the end of the first part of the spreadsheet.
Yeah, we made it.
Now we get to the big boy, the 11 by 17,
Yeah.
the loadout. This is cool. This is brand new.
Yeah, this is
This is
brand new.
this
Uh,
page. I'll let you do. You did most of this.
yeah, I'll go ahead. So, this part goes every loadout and every upgrade of every loadout option. The loadout upgrades describe what the upgrade does, but it is not clear what it does. So, for example, um, how much movement speed does medic actually give? We have the number. How much damage does the portable turret get when you upgrade it? We have the actual number. Those kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
we put it all in here, exactly what it does. Sometimes they're a bit vague about it, like increase in damage. This stretch hunters, and it's like, what does it do? Just tell me. Here it is.
Yeah. There's lots of times when it says it does something and it doesn't.
Yeah,
I think there's
that's
more
true.
times when it doesn't say that it does something, but it does.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you do get damage buffs and stuff, and it doesn't even mention it. For example, the MK, it gets fire shots at +3, but for some reason it also gets a sick ass damage buff, which is really
Yeah, it's
important.
insane. This is the DPS on this is higher than the Bulldog.
Yeah, it's crazy. The portable turret, it says like, oh, you get armor piercing ammo, but actually you get a fucking 30% damage buff. It's insane.
Yeah, it's silly. And then like I gave here's that color coding DPS calculation again. This is for some of these have a little like fire rate buff, you know. So I just went with the highest rate of fire you can get just by the thing on its own. No melee speed buff or anything, and then the highest damage value. And so here's your max DPS for each of the equalizers, and they interact interestingly with the other buffs, because it can't ever be simple.
Yeah.
So the portable turret does not get the weapon specialist damage buff. The grenade turret does not get the engineer explosive buff. But interestingly, it seems to not be affected by do less damage. So that's something for the grenade
It's
turret.
not affected by nothing.
Uh, yeah, right. It doesn't care.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Riot Shield gets the tank buff and the melee speed buff from team boosters. MK32, of course, does not get the engineer explosive buff because why would it?
It's only
So just
explosion.
run it with just run it with weapon specialist for the
Yeah.
reload. And then this is the interesting one. The death machine does get the weapon specialist like 50% damage buff. Combine that with it getting a big upgrade to 75 damage per shot at +4, and this thing can really shred if you build for the death machine.
Yeah,
But
actually
that
it
thing
does quite
is,
good damage on the barrier, for example. Or if you use it on the breeder, it's also pretty good.
yeah.
Also, in the game, you can't see the costs of any of the upgrades. You have to go in game to see what an upgrade or what a ammo or team support or strike package actually costs. So I made it here as well, so you can see what everything costs without having to go in game, which is kind of nice. I also added notes about random shit that I know about everything. Uh, like there's so many things, like tank gives a flare. It doesn't mention it anywhere, but it's nice to
Yeah.
know. Handling weapon specialist +1 gives you can make it so you can quick box, which is really important. We should have added a link here, to be honest, to your video.
Oh, so the Cupid Slayer. I think I have a link there further down, but yeah.
To the quick
Uh,
boxing, but the link is further down in the sheets, definitely.
oh, the quick boxing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I also have a video ranking all the classes if you want to watch it. Also all the double classes.
We got the engineer +4 buff now.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So like like we said, the trap buff doesn't apply to Teslas because the game thinks that they are craftables and not traps. And then the explosive buff, it seems to only apply to environmental explosives. So there are 3 of them. That's the propane tanks on point of contact, then the red explosive barrels that you see around on some of the maps, and then the transformers you see on Nightfall. And we think that's it.
Yeah. So in the description it says boost the damage of explosives. So at the start we were thinking like, oh, explosives like the casket, like Sentex, like mortar strikes, like IMS explosions. There are so many explosions in the game, but it actually applies to nothing, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. Really is.
So like, why?
Why would you make it so shit? Engineer is already not the best class you can run. It's like definitely less good than the rest of them. And for some reason, even the one thing that's like potentially really good does nothing, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
But we did test this a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. We
a,
put a lot of time
a
into that.
stupid amount of time went into testing all the explosions, the venom, the IMS, the mortar strikes, grenade turret, MK. Nothing gets the buff. Only propane tank barrels and transformers.
Yep.
Transformers are like the
I
electric ball things that you can explode.
yeah. Yeah, it's like on the power lines in Nightfall. But
Yeah,
yeah.
crazy shit.
Yep.
So engineer F tier.
Engineer ass. Yeah.
Okay, then we can go to the score stuff.
Oh yeah. This is new.
Yeah, so a lot of people are into score winning, or some really dedicated people are into score winning, and it's nice to have all the information somewhere. And this basically describes how much score you can get for each hive. So, for example, this is point of contact in regular difficulty. In the first area, you get 10,000 score for a hive. This is divided into 3 sections: drill, personal skill, challenge. We will go into what each topic does later. In hardcore, you get a straight up 1.25 multiplier. So here's hardcore. So the maximum score you can get is 12500. And the score for each section is also multiplied by 125. Yeah, this is point of contact. You can see what score you can get for each hive. It's nice to see after a hive, you have the score at the top right. You can see, oh, I lost this much score here, I lost this much score here. And but just by knowing it, you can improve. So it's really nice to have these numbers so you can compare.
Yep. And we'll talk more about it later. But the relics, all the relics do is they take your total score and then they just multiply it by oh god, they multiply it by an additional 20% per relic. So one relic is 1.2x, 2 relics is 1.4, 3 1.6, 1.8, so that 5 relics is double and 10 relics is triple score. That's
Yeah,
all the relics do to like these normal scores. The
yeah.
relic is really really weird with the escape score. But
I also, really quickly, on co-op, your score is divided in 4 sections. You have the drill, personal skill, and challenge, but you also have teamwork. But again, we will go into what each section is later. But yeah, the escape. Uh, the faster you escape, the more score you get. That's basically it. Just escape as fast as you can. But it gets kind of weird because
yeah.
because we can escape really quickly now with glitches and tricks to skip the meteors and shit. The escape gives a stupid amount of score. Like 1/3 of the game's score you get is from the escape.
Yeah.
It's
Which lasts
stupid.
like 15 seconds now.
Yeah, the escape only takes less than a minute. the game expects you to take like more than 2 minutes at least. So now the score you get is insane. And, like it's more than half of the no wait, not more. It's 1/3 of your score is going to be escape score, at least. This gets even more crazy in co-op because for some reason there is a glitch in the game that if you play co-op and you get into the helicopter, the escape score is calculated but not yet distributed. So if all your teammates leave, you get all the score from the escape. So you basically get 4 times more score from the escape than you would normally. Which is stupid. It's actually stupid. If you run relics, it also gets multiplied by the amount of relics you run. So here's a quick example. If you run 10 relics and you would instantly escape, you would get 300,078k score. And if you multiply that with 4, you get 1,242k. So in co-op, what we do is we escape as quickly as possible. All the teammates leave, and we get like literally 1 million score, which is more than you can ever get in a game. It's stupid. The leaderboard is full of runs with 1 million plus score because of this.
Yeah, this glitch is crazy. I love this formula, like the escape score formula. Like this is what it is.
Yeah, this is what it is.
Variable equation that is quadratic in Relics. Like if you expanded this out like Algebra 2 style, you have a term here that's r squared.
Yeah, because there's 2 times a relic multiplier.
Yeah, right. You have the relic multiplied by itself in here. I don't know why it is this. I have no idea how those guys found this out, but it's what it is. Also, massive shout out to Pillow. He basically dropped like this entire score section in here.
Yeah.
Just from his archives or
yeah,
whatever.
They kind of had it in Excel. They just posted it in here, which is really nice that now everybody has it. It's accessible to everyone.
Yeah. All I did was just make it pretty.
Big shout out to Pillow for the score stuff.
Oh yeah, he added like
pages.
Probably at least 12 of these pages.
Yeah, he added a lot of pages on just score.
Yeah.
Alright. Anything else important about point of contact? Oh yeah, the maximum score is of course not reachable. You can never escape in 4 minutes. But in a co-op run, 3 minutes 15 seconds is like the fastest you can get, which still gets you a 1 million score. And in hardcore, it's even more. In solo, like if you go as fast as I can go, you can get a 3 or 4 escape, which gives a lot of score. And in a typical run, if you don't do all the glitches, you get about a 1.5 left on the clock, which here's just some examples.
That's just there as like what would like a normal person do. You know, so like it's funny to compare like the default like I'm going to go fast and get a platinum escape gets you like 180k, and then the insane trickery that happens now is 10 times more score than that almost.
Yeah, it's stupid.
There's a graph later down in the notes that shows this and like how comical this black screen glitch is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Nightfall.
Yeah, so in Nightfall you have again all the hives. The further you go into the areas, just like a point of contact, if area 1 gives you 10,000 score hive, area 2 gives you 15,000, area 3 gives you 20,000. So the later you get in the game, the more important the hives get, the more score you get for it. And then you have the breeder score. And at the end of the game, you will see a tab that's breeder score. This is the breeder score you get from the first and the second breeder score combined. So it was hard to separate them, but we did figure out how it works. The first breeder is based on time, but it's impossible to get maximum breeder score because the time will pass and you need some time to kill him. And if you get a bad challenge, like the Destroy Egg challenge, you lose a lot of score because of it. It's really annoying. On the second Breeder fight, however, time is not an important factor. It's only personal skill. So don't get hit, don't miss shots. But I will get to that later. Then we have Mayday.
Right.
Mayday is a mess. You have all these areas, and so you have the lower deck. Hives 1 and 2. Hive 3 with the Kraken gives a bit more score because you have the Kraken there. I don't actually know exactly how the Kraken worked. I've never really competed high score Mayday.
Yeah.
There's also no note about it, so I will just guess if you kill the Kraken, you get the score. If you don't kill it, you don't get the score. Then we have Hive 4 and 6, which is also on the lower deck, which give like second area score, or third area, I guess. And for some reason, the Hive, where you place the drill on the machine, and the machine drives towards the Hive and destroys the Hive, and then comes back. The one where you can't repair the drill, you probably know it, is like viewed as a Hive in the upper deck. So you get 20,000 score for it. After you do this Hive, you want to do all the doors in the lower section. Because the door you open, the score you get from it is based on the previous Hive you did. So if you do it after the UGV Hive, you get more score for the doors. So if you want to compete in high score runs, it's really important to know.
Yeah. It's like a third area door, basically.
Yeah, it's a third area door. So yeah, for the doors, they are very short, but you do get score for them. In Mayday, crafting was introduced. Every time you craft, you get 500 points. So just make sure to craft a fuck ton of sticky flares. They're amazing. There's also 2 doors that you have to do. The one that gets you to the Kraken and the one after the Kraken. Oh, the arm, the tentacle.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you have the valves, but the valves is basically just protect the valves and personal skill.
Yeah. Right.
The Kraken is time-based. Fuck, I wish Pillow was here right now.
Yeah.
You can't really speed up the Kraken fight, so I don't actually know exactly how this works. It's probably based on how much time he puts the gas down, so you want to minimize that. That's my guess, at least.
Yeah, there's like a minimum time you can kill the Kraken in.
We will probably add a note about this at some point.
Yeah. V.7.
Yeah. Awakening. Awakening is very simple. You have all the hives give the same score, so really easy. No increase in score the further you go. The Vanguard section, you have personal skill, which speaks for itself. And then you have the Vanguard. Make sure the Vanguard gets hit at the lowest amount as possible. A sticky flag can help with this. In the Cortex, activate the Cortex when it's ready. Don't get hit. You get max score. And then
with the Cortex,
go ahead.
You gotta hit it 10 times, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, we should add a note about that.
Yeah, we'll add a note about that.
Because the Cortex, it's like you get the Cortex activation for hitting the Cortex, and I think they say it's a max of 10. So you got to do.
Damn,
right?
That sucks. And then you have to stall for a long time.
Yeah, they take a long time in the arc on those.
Awakening
runs.
Sucks to high score in. Because
so fucking slow.
It's extremely slow. In solo, you need to craft a fuck ton of sticky flares. You have to activate the Medusa 10 times, which you have to stall for, which actually gets really hard because more and more hunters will start to spawn. In co-op, you run like 3 players instead of what you normally do with 4. Just because if you run 4 players, the game is tended to crash. Just because you take so long, it's terrible. You try to get the maximum score you can, and during the Medusa fight, the game will just crash. You're in the third area. We also reduce the amount of sentries we place just to avoid getting crashes.
Ugh. Yeah, Awakening is an
It's
ugly
like a
map.
2-hour high score win. It sucks.
Yeah. Ugh.
And then we have Exodus. Um, the doors get increasingly more difficult, and they also give increasingly more score. They are tended to be done first because you don't need to protect the drill, and you can focus on not getting hit and doing the challenges. Except for the last two doors, they are really hard, so you do those last. Then we have the generators. The first two generators you do are easier. The third and fourth generator are a bit harder. They give a bit more score. They get harder by increasing the amount of hunters compared to scouts and also more scopes. The fifth and sixth generator give the most score. Ancestors give
And
an extra amount of score, and they are based on the generator you do them at. So what you want to do is you want to do the one generator in the middle area and one generator in the chaos area. And then the fifth and the sixth generator, you want to be the ones with the ancestor. So the ancestor gives 20,000 points. 20,000. If you would do the two middle generators, the ancestor would only give 15,000 points. So you want to do the two hives or two generators with the ancestors last, so they give more score.
yeah, that's an important point that most people don't know about is the ancestor. You want them to be like quote unquote third area ancestors, so they give you more points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Medusa,
Yeah.
it's the only area where personal skill is not important. So you can miss all your bullets, you can get hit. It doesn't matter. The only thing you need to do is make sure the cortex doesn't get hit and you kill the ancestor before the next one spawns. Also, if you you want to wait for the after the last ancestor finishes, there will be like an overtime. You want to wait for it to
Yeah.
start and then end the game because it will give you score.
Yeah, you get that. It's like you're getting the third ancestor's score when the next wave starts. So you gotta let it play out.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
All
Then
right.
then I will explain like what everything does. So you have personal skill, drill, teamwork, challenge, relic bonus, crafting, those kind of stuff. So in solo, the only things that are there is drill, personal skill, and challenge. The drill is really easy. The drill is health. If it takes damage, you lose score. It's really simple. Personal skill is a bit more complicated. It's divided in two separate parts. You have the accuracy and the damage taken. So about 40% of the personal skill score is accuracy, and 60% is damage taken. You want to keep your accuracy at 100%. This can be really easy though. If you run Crypto Slayer ammo, every hit you do with fire or explosion will count towards a hit. So with Crypto Slayer ammo, Cryptos will take a lot of fire damage, and because of that, your accuracy will normally always stay on 100% unless you start shooting like crazy. The other part is damage taken. So every time you take damage, you lose a pretty decent chunk of score. But winning armor negates a lot of the damage and will also make it so you lose less score. So that's why normally armor is run in high score runs. Some tips with this is don't run IMS flaming pools or don't make your teammates run IMS flaming pools because the fire can damage you. Also, don't damage yourself with like traps. Don't shoot your pistol if you run turrets. Oh yeah. Also, your accuracy will stay at 100% if you don't shoot a bullet. So, for example, if you only knife during Hive, you will get 100% accuracy. Turrets are not counted to your accuracy as well. So if you use a portable turret or grenade turret, your accuracy will stay at 100% as long as you don't shoot. So there's two options.
Yeah, it's
Go all in turrets or use Crypto Slayer ammo.
it's different than the accuracy is different than
The
the
challenge. Yeah, the challenge works
accuracy
completely
challenge.
different.
Yeah.
The challenge sucks. Then you have
Yeah.
the challenge. This is just a flat score based on if you complete the challenge or not. This can be really annoying with challenge RNG, with portable turrets, or with portable and grenade turrets. You can't do every challenge. Also, random challenges can happen, which can be really hard on some hives. But it's really basic. Then we have teamwork. Teamwork is only a thing in co-op, and this is based on a few things. Like half of it is based on the amount of damage you deal, and half of it is based on the amount of boxes you pick up and the boxes you throw. The damage, you just want to deal the majority of damage. So if you kill like half the aliens, if you do a lot of damage against rhinos, you will get maximum score here. And the 10 drops is based on the amount of drops you throw and the amount of drops you pick up. So, for example, if you pick up ammo, ferals, and money, you get 3 drops. You throw armor and ammo yourself, that's 5 drops. And you just keep doing that until you have 10. There's a few exceptions to this. If you do a door next Exodus, you need 20 drops. If you... Oh no, you need 17 drops, sorry. If you do a barrier hive from point of contact, you need 20 drops, but normally it's 10 drops for every teamwork. With 10 relics, there is a glitch you can do to pick up drops and still get maximum teamwork. So with Earn You Keep, you normally can't get the teamwork score to be maxed out, but with a glitch you can. But I think I covered that in the glitches section in a bit.
Yeah, I think it's down there.
Then we have the relic bonus, which Eric already talked about. Every relic you run is basically a 20% extra score. So you can run 10 relics, you get 200% extra score, so you basically triple the amount of score you have. Hardcore gives a flat 1.25 multiplier, and crafting gives a base score 500, which also gets multiplied by the amount of relics you have. And hardcore. And I think that covers everything.
Yep.
Then we have some specific things. For example,
Since,
map
this
specific
is the
things.
escape score. This is the same as what we had up there on the
Yeah.
point of contact like spreadsheet page.
So
That same one.
if you wanna do a high score on any of these maps, make sure to take a look here. Here's some more in-depth information. For example, about the dropping 20 drops during a barrier hive, the escape score calculated, the escape score with black screen explained. Here's
I think a little further down we have.
Yeah, the graph. You can do the graph.
Or well, no, like a little further down we also have like explanations on how the loadouts work and the
Oh
upgrade
yeah, I will get
strategies.
to that. I
Yeah.
will get to that.
Yeah. Okay. So this graph, this is fun. It's more just to emphasize how obscene the black screen glitch is and not actually use this to like pick out data. But so this is possible escape scores on point of contact. So these bottom 10 lines are for 0 to 10 relics, and this it looks backwards, right? This graph is time remaining in seconds. So if you escape immediately with 4 minutes left, that's 240 seconds with 10 relics, you get this much score. And then as the time runs down, the your score gets lower, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see the quadratic relationship with the relics here because the space in between the lines is increasing every single time you go up a relic. And then these top 2 lines are 9 and 10 relics with the black screen glitch, and you can see they are like several times more score.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Very powerful.
Yeah, so I think that covers point of contact. Black screen glitch
Yep.
OP. Then we have some tips on Nightfall. We have some tips on Mayday. Here's also explained how the tentacle works, so we don't need to add a comment about that. It's only based on defeating it, like I thought. It's also explained about the doors, which I covered. Crafting, valves, Kraken fight. Kraken
Yeah,
fight
it's
has a
just
time component to it. We need to figure out how that works.
that's weird because
It takes
there's not
9
much room.
activations
There's
of
not
the Cortex indeed. In a co-op, it takes 12 activations solo.
okay. That's what 9 and 12.
Oh, 9 for co-op, 12 for solo.
Yeah.
There's no score for crafting on Awakening for some reason. Okay.
You gotta craft a shit ton of things anyways.
Yeah, you have to craft the shit on anyways. Then we have loadouts for every map. So you have basically 2 options for high score runs. You go either 9 relics, and you only turn. Oh, the only one you don't turn off is don't turn on is in your keep. That way you can run Crypto Slayer ammo, ferals, or Crypto Slayer ammo and armor. Or you go all in without no machines, and you go grenade turret with sentries or portable turret with sentries. You can also do 8 relics. That way you can use a gun, like the MR28, Crypto Slayer ammo, and feral armor. But of course, 9 relics will give you more score. So if you really want to compete on the highest level, you win 9 relics. But it's definitely good to start with 8 relics just to get a feel for how different it is. Because score runs are
Yeah,
completely different than your regular runs. Because you want to be protecting the drill and stuff.
yeah, it's like a totally different mindset.
Yeah.
I, I want to
So
try like a 9 relic no mortal run. It's just to like see if it's even possible. But the score would be absolutely terrible.
yeah. Then we also have an upgrade order. Of course, if you run these setups, you want to know what to upgrade. If you go turrets, you normally go. Point of contact is an exception because you have the 50%, 75% accuracy challenge at the start, which you have to do upgrade sentries for. But if you run pistols, you normally go a bit into pistols, so you get that arc attachment and that extend max. Then you go all into armor. Then a bit into. Whoa, it's all over the place here. Basically, you do a bit of armor, you do a bit
Yeah.
of pistols, then you go max in ammo. But for every map, it slightly varies. It's been optimized like crazy, but you want to get your pistol upgraded a bit. Then you want your armor upgraded a bit so you don't take damage. And then you want to max out your ammo. So if you have Crypto Slayer ammo maxed out, it will regen ammo. And 1 ammo box can give you the maximum amount of ammo you can have in your reserve, which is broken. So after you do your pistol and your armor a bit, you want to upgrade your ammo to max so you don't need to worry about ammo anymore. You can just throw it once and you don't have any money problems anymore. With turrets, it's normally upgrade your grenade turret to +3 or your portable turret, and then max out your sentries so you can have 2 sentries to protect yourself, and then max out your grenade turret, and then you only upgrade your pistol to like +1 or 2 for because you have spare skill points. If you want to get into score running, don't try 9 relics out of the gate. Take it slowly, set a goal, practice, learn about the maps, and only if you have a good feeling about it, you can try to be better. If you need to know anything about score running, there is like a really helpful community of the high score guys, I call them. If you just ask about score in the Discord, they will help you. They are really helpful. Pillow, Veneer, that kind of people. So yeah, here's a bit of an introduction into score runs. What is important? What maps are easier? Pistols versus turrets. How RNG is affected. There's also a section about co-op strategies with 9 and 10 relics. what you should run, what people should be running, what type of stuff, how to maximize boxes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's an obscene amount of information
It's a lot of information.
given,
If you want to
dropped.
get into score running, I would definitely recommend reading this. There is so much good information here. It's really nice to have it all in one place because this wasn't the case. I just
Yeah,
kind of knew all this, but it's really nice that we have it in one place now so people can read it and get into it.
yeah, and I didn't know this shit at all. I'm glad we got y'all to help collaborate on this and expand the spreadsheet. This thing's gonna be its own. Like this is the Wikipedia at this point.
Yeah, this is better than the
It's
Wikipedia for
one
sure.
document. Yeah, right.
There is
It's
no
what
BS on
actually.
here.
Yeah,
Okay, then
we've
we go into your
tested like
section.
every single. Yeah.
Yeah, we
All
also
right.
like tested values and shit.
Damage drop. Oh boy. Um. So I'd mentioned this before. We have these graphs here. I think there's 8. Yeah. Um. These are like if you've ever used Synthic or any of those like multiplayer game weapon stat graphs. They look like this, right? It's telling you on the bottom we have range, and on the top this is the weapon damage. And so for the K7, here's in orange is its raw damage value, right? It starts at 90, and then you hit a point. Uh, I called the min range, is where the distance at which your damage starts decreasing, and it decreases linearly to the this damage here. Actually, I think I got the max range and min range. But yeah, you just flat damage, linear drop, flat damage. That's how every weapon's damage drop works in Ghosts. Um, and so these weapons are all of the ones on Exodus that are able to take holographic sights. The value, the unit on the x-axis here is footsteps. So I didn't want to try to use feet or meters because what is defined as a foot is so, like tiny, you know, and the game doesn't use those numbers anyways. They're using like some like pixel measurement thing for counting distance. But with your footsteps, as long as you're walking forward, your character your character's footsteps are the same distance every single time, no matter how fast you're walking. So it's consistent, and it's actually like you can kind of get a feel for this if you just walk around a little bit. Um, and yeah, for all the weapons, I have them with arc, or arc, muzzle brake, and nothing. You can see that the arc is just dramatically better at every range in every instance. Um,
Yeah, big respect
on
for
the
figuring this out and testing all this.
yeah, I I wish that every gun was available on Exodus, because then we could have these charts for everything. But until it gets data mined, I wouldn't be able to get reliable enough information about the other guns to put something like this together with any degree of confidence for them. Um, yeah, I these comparison ones down here, like the Maverick versus R5, I thought these were pretty interesting. So, um,
Yeah, they definitely are.
so the Maverick is the blue one here. So it's like the Maverick is slightly better than the R5 up close because it has like a little higher rate of fire, but the R5 has a lot more range. So it like in that mid-range area, the R5 outperforms it. It's not by much, but it's something. And then yeah, here's your IA2 just categorically beating the MK14 because it has a higher fire rate.
Yeah, it's better in every way.
Yeah, right. It's just better. There's some guns that are like that just are better.
Yeah.
I kind of skipped over all of the text here at the start of the damage drop, but that's just what I
How you tested it.
gone over in these graphs. Yeah, I tested the shit out of this.
Good stuff. Then we have
Yeah.
the
All right.
bosses.
Oh yeah. So
Uh
uh yeah, I'll do barrier hives. So the arc multiplier just doesn't affect barrier hives. It's what we said earlier with the arc wasn't around back then. I guess they just never got coded it, but um it as weird as that is, it's how it works, and it's why in point of contact we're not tweaking about getting arcs on our guns for the speed runs because it doesn't make a difference. It's more about the extended mags matters more than the arc.
Yeah, the only reason why I would want an arc
And
is
then
for the range.
yeah, right. Like range on the bulldog, just making
Range of
sure
the
you get the
bulldog, yeah.
max damage each time.
But
Yeah, and then the barrier hives. So um, I said earlier like the enemies have HP scalers for how many players are in the game, but the bosses are an exception. Here is the exception. Um, so the 2 barrier hives in solo, it's 66 for the first, 100 for the second, and then in co-op, it's 100 for the first, 150 for the second. It's just they're just defined as those numbers. There's no multipliers involved.
yeah,
Yeah,
I guess I will do the breeder then.
yeah. It's your
Yeah,
baby.
it's my baby. So like the barrier hives, the breeder doesn't take more damage for an arc. It's actually bad to have an arc during the first breeder fight because the first breeder fight is like inside the wall that separates the first and the second area. So often his head will be behind the invisible wall, and with an arc you just can't hit him, which is really annoying. So that's the only place where you don't want to have an arc, basically. Um, yeah.
I definitely hit my my SV cheats 1 speed button there. Fuck that text up. Oh, oops.
Yeah, how did you put that in there?
I have I I have on the side of my keyboard I have buttons that have commands typed to like on a macro.
Oh,
And so I think I
nice.
just accidentally hit that and missed it inside the wall of text. We'll mark that for fixing.
Yeah, Anyway,
Yeah.
so an arc might potentially miss out on collaterals in the breeder because he has multiple hit zones overlapping in his face. You can only hit the breeder on the critical hits. The Venom is the only gun that can hit the breeder anywhere on his body. Because it's programmed like that. It's like programmed to be the counter to the breeder. And for some reason, if you hold the Venom next to your hand, you can knife the breeder also anywhere. Because if you hold the Venom in your hand, your character is, I guess, programmed to hit it anywhere. So your knife can also hit it anywhere, which is kind of funny. During the final breeder fight, oh yeah, in the first breeder fight, if you kill it too quickly, you soft lock, which has happened to me a lot. It's really annoying. So yeah, look out with that if you want to speedrun, I guess. Second breeder fight is 2 phases. In the first phase, he goes to half health. In the second phase, you can kill him. In the second phase, he can start healing himself, and he has these healing pots, which can be really annoying. It's the only boss that can heal himself, and because of that, it becomes sometimes really hard to kill him in challenge runs, like the melee only run or the 10 relic run. The breeder in the final fight has weak spots on his belly that you can destroy, which does like a fifth of his health, which is quite a bit. But it's actually just fast to spray his head because he dies really quickly if you spray his head. You can kill him before he even thinks about regenning. Then we have the 1 cycle. So, like I just told, the breeder has 2 cycles. He goes to half health, he becomes invulnerable, he leaves for a minute, and he comes back. But during the first 10 seconds, when the breeder spawns, he can't activate his invulnerability. So if you kill him really quickly, you can kill him before he becomes invulnerable, and you can 1 cycle him, saving more than a minute in the speedrun. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
This can be done by running mortar strikes, fully upgraded, running weapon specialist, fully upgraded, and engineer, and then also having the Venom X. Before the breeder even spawns in, you want to call in 5 mortar strikes, and that's why you need engineer for that 2000 extra cash, so you can buy 5 mortar strikes instead of 4. You buy those 5 mortar strikes. As soon as his health bar appears, those mortar strikes are going to fall on top of him. You also shoot your Venom, so there is constantly gas damage and explosive damage on the Venom, and you can kill him extremely quickly. I've killed him in 7 seconds before, and then he dies before he even goes away. And this doesn't break the game. The game actually ends. And it's how I got an insane speedrun. There's actually a really nice speedrun coming very soon.
Yeah. Yeah, that breeder one cycle is like probably one of the coolest things in all of
Yeah.
the Extinction speedruns. It's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
sick.
insane. The biggest times I've ever found. Except for the door glitch
I
on
don't
Exodus, but that doesn't count.
point it. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
door
point
glitch and
of contact is
point of
also big
contact
though. All maps have found
out of
big time
bounds.
saves.
It's cool.
Bro, the out
Yeah,
of bounds and
except
points.
Awakening.
Except for Mayday. Fucking Mayday, man. Mayday
It is so
sucks.
stupid. Speaking of that, we have the Kraken. So
Oh yeah,
the
the breeder fight can be
I did
one
a
cycle solo and 3-player and 4-player, but 2 players can't be done because it has more than double amount of HP and it's already really tied to one cycle in solo. With 2 players, it's impossible. With 3 and 4 players, it can be done.
yeah,
But take over.
yeah, that's another example of the co-op boss HP being weird and right. But so the Kraken, this tentacle has deceived us for a very long time.
This is
Uh,
about the first tentacle that
lots of
spawns like third hive.
yeah, third hive tentacle. Um, my latest statement about it is that it has 10,000 HP and a minimum duration of 15 seconds. I put that video out recently about it with like the FP6. Um, yeah, damage done before the 15 seconds are up will count, but you'll need to shoot it again after the 15 seconds is up to like get rid of it. And I test that with like a bulldog, right? Because you can go in with a bulldog and just and you'll do way more than 10,000 HP, but it still takes 15 seconds. Um, and then like we saw in that video, it's super buggy with full auto weapons. Like it definitely has like some kind of laggy iframe crap happening. Um, so like most of the shots just aren't even connecting when you shoot something with a really high fire rate at the tentacle. Um, of course, the arc doesn't work on it because why would it? Um, and it doesn't take any explosive damage at all. It's like only stuff that hits it directly is dealing damage. Uh, so it's unnecessarily weird for something that's just there for like one hive and leaves, but tentacle. Um, then for the Kraken fight, he's got 4 stages, but you're not taking off 25% of his health each stage. It's 20%, 25, 25, 30. Um, I guess that because they thought it would flow better like that.
Yeah,
Then
making the last fight a bit harder.
yeah, what we were talking about with the timing component being weird is that um he can't do his like the phase change when he goes under the ship, like you've done the first phase, until he starts the like heating the deck up and making it all red, and that it takes him a slightly randomized amount of time to get to the point where he heats the deck because of he has like animations that play out, and depending on which animations you get, um, it can change the time by not a ton, but it's enough to make a big difference in a speed run and maybe potentially the score. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
And also the Kraken fight's just weird. He is absolutely littered with um, invincibility thresholds, where it's like before he goes into like the red phase, you can only take off like you know like 10%, 15% or whatever of his health, and then after you do that amount of damage, your shots literally do 0 damage to him. Um,
Yeah, it sucks.
so yeah, the Kraken is just a nightmare for like any type of speedrunning.
Yeah, it's just RNG cutscene.
Yeah,
So
literally
Solo Mimo played like hundreds of games to beat my record, and I've gonna play thousands of games to beat his record now.
every second makes it way harder.
Yeah,
You want to take the ancestor?
I'll do the ancestor. So like we already said, the ancestor has a critical hit multiplier of 1.2 on his head. Snipers receive a higher critical hit ratio for some reason. We don't know why that happens. Ancestor
It's
shields
just
pop up when he takes a certain amount of damage, and if you throw disruptor nade or shoot a fully charged disruptor, the shield is destroyed, and the ancestor can't put up a shield again. So this is the moment you want to deal a fuck ton of damage, because he can't put up a shield, so you won't hit the shield damage marker. So for 10 seconds you can just go ham, shoot your bulldog, shoot your NX, do a lot of damage, then you will put up your shield again, you destroy it, and then you can do that again. That's the easiest way to kill him. So make sure to do a lot of damage after you shoot your NX bullet. Here's a video of Eric destroying the Bier really fast.
Yeah, it's
the
ancestor.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he pulls up his shield after like 2,000 damage if he hasn't been disrupted previously, basically. So it's combo things together, kill him super quick.
Yeah. In Exodus, every ancestor you kill, you get a skill point in regular difficulty. You don't get a skill point on hardcore difficulty. During the Medusa fight, like the final fight, there will be a Medusa on each door. Each door will last 4 minutes. And after every door, you also get a skill point. And the HP values of the ancestors are right here. For some reason, his health doesn't increase from 3 to 4 players.
Yeah, random. It's just like weird numbers. But these are straight out of the code. So
yeah, these are from the data mine. Okay, now we'll leave you with the weapon rotation.
Yeah, my weapon rotation that I wrote way too much about, but I like thinking about this. It's kind of cool. Yeah, basically if there's no weapon wheel in this game, it's not like GTA or Doom Eternal where you can pick which gun you have. You just have as you pick up guns, they go into this rotation, and if you have way too many guns in there, you will have no idea what you're about to pull out, and so you'll just be switching weapons all the time and like die. So the way it works is super simple if you don't have a riot shield, because the riot shield can like come in and out of your inventory and like mess things up. But basically it starts with your secondary, and then every time you obtain a new weapon, it goes to the end of the rotation, right? So you got your pistol, then you got that first primary you bought, then so you got a disruptor and then a bulldog, the pistol 3, and so you switch weapons and you go down, 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 and then you're back to the start. If you get that extra primary, it flutters you up a lot if you don't need it. So a lot of times I'll just not even get a second primary. Like I'll have my pistols maxed, but one primary.
Yeah.
And then
it only gets annoying.
When you have, yeah, it can be tricky. But when you have a riot shield, it gets a lot worse. Because it goes to the end like a normal weapon, but if it gets destroyed and you like buy a new gun, or even if you just like, I don't know, like look at a box the wrong way, the riot shield will decide that it wants to move, and then just like fuck you up. So what I've found, the best way to keep it consistent is just you buy a riot shield immediately after spawning in, and then you never let it stay broken. Like if it breaks, you just buy another one immediately, and then your rotation will stay consistent, and it'll just be this like secondary riot shield, primary wonder weapon. And that's really cool because it puts the wonder weapon right after the primary, which lets you do things like swapping to the disruptor super quick to kill phantoms on Exodus and the Venom X for gargoyles on Awakening, So I like that.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd, so this is what I think of when I'm running it. You can like press triangle twice, you go across, right? Press triangle once, you go clockwise like a clock, and then you go the other way by pressing it 3 times.
Yeah.
I kind of like to think about it like that. This is like it's pedantic. You don't really need to worry about this at all, but it's kind of fun.
And
yeah, and then we have the unplayable loadout.
Yeah, so the maximum numbers of weapons you can theoretically have is 7, which is stupid. You can only do this by running Exodus, I guess. No, you can do this in every map with a moths. But you need your pistol, a primary, like normal, a wonder weapon, a secondary primary with pistol +3. Then you buy a void shield, which will be your 6th gun. No, wait, 5th gun. Yeah, your fifth gun. You can also have a Soflam, which takes up a completely separate spot. So that's your sixth gun. And with the glitch, you can add the moths to your rotation. So by doing all that, you can have 7 weapons in your rotation. So you would have to press Y 7 times to get the weapon you want.
Yeah, if you miss it, you gotta go all the way around again.
Yeah, I will probably do this in a video at some point for a meme.
I'd do like the day 1 edition SoFlam glitch.
What?
You
What?
give yourself like 10. You
You
remember the
can
SoFlam
you
glitch with
can buy multiple guns.
yeah.
Did you know you can get multiple guns by jumping into the void while holding a Venom Axe and a Sentry?
I saw that. Yeah, I haven't messed with it.
You
It's
can,
like you're replacing the venom with the
yeah.
right?
You can only do it once though. But
Yeah.
I wonder if you can go to 8. To be honest, maybe I can go to 8. It would be so funny. I have to try that.
Can you get a SoFlam on Awakening?
Whoa! I just realized that I don't know that.
I don't think you can, but I
No.
don't know.
Whoa! That
It
just
certainly would
blew
make
my
sense.
mind. Never thought about not getting Soflams on Awakening. Um,
Can you get them on Mayday? I don't think you can.
you can on Exodus.
Yeah, you can definitely can on Exodus and Night.
I wonder if I can do the same glitch with NX. I will see about that.
You know, when I did that cursed weapons video a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I did that by giving myself like all of the guns, and there's like a hard cap on the number of weapons you can have.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how many it was. Um, and I know you needed to go like one under the amount of weapons, like the total amount of weapons, or else you won't be able to use boxes because those take up a weapon slot temporarily.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I said like you can't look at a box the wrong way because it's like because you
Yeah,
by
because
that
count as
box
a
you're
gun.
technically giving and getting rid of a weapon, and so that can like mess your rotation up.
Oh, that's funny actually. That's probably also why
Yeah.
the infinite turret works and shit.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're deleting your weapon.
Yeah. So money multipliers.
Yep. Simple. Point of contact once you're in the third area. I should have said on regular difficulty. Um, you get a 30% extra money for the rest of the game. It makes it so easy on regular. It's like this is nice. And then Mayday, it's the opposite. Once you plant the drill in third area, you get that 0.5x money multiplier, and it lasts all the way through the first stage of the Kraken fight. But once you start the second stage of the Kraken fight, you're back to making normal. And then you used to get this same money multiplier, the 0.5, as soon as you got to the second area of Nightfall, but they got rid of that probably because it was like unfun, you know.
Yeah, it was stupid hard.
So specialized ammo, the
Yeah,
incendiary. Do you want to take this one?
we kind of covered this in the loadout section, but here's some more
Yeah,
information
we
about
did,
every
right?
ammo type.
Yeah. This is all up there in
Yeah,
Loadout.
it's
It's just
basically all up there.
elaborated on more
How
here.
much damage each fire pulse does, what the high grade armor piercing ammo T upgrade does. You can one knife scouts by hitting them on the armor with it.
Yeah.
Explosive ammo is bad, basically. That's this section.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, don't use explosive.
yeah,
Do use Cryptid Slayer.
do use Code Slayer.
The the rel
Exactly.
the relics section. This is
New.
greatly expanded on from the previous version. So um yeah, as we said earlier, 20% more score per relic. So take more damage, 33% flat increase to the damage you take. Um, it doesn't affect the amount of damage your armor takes, nor does it affect how much damage your teammates take. That this teammate damage is kind of a leftover myth from like its unfortunate wording.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the damage you take. Um, I think it affects the amount of damage you take underneath your armor, like the little tiny bit of health damage you take through armor. It affects that, but not your health, uh, or not the armor itself. And then yeah, it makes enemies target you more theoretically. Um, pistols only. It's pretty uh, self-explanatory. But if you have pistols and earn your keep, you get to use Pistol Beast to buy pistol ammo off of any wall weapon. And then if the majority, as in like literally more than half of the players in the lobby, have pistols only equipped, you don't get the primary weapon challenges.
Just kind of
Um,
nice.
yeah, it's kind of convenient for like the Sigma hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Smaller wallet, also self-explanatory. It cuts the money you earn down to 75%, limits your wallet size. Um, Mortal does exactly what it says. We have that crazy half mortal glitch that we'll talk about more to like partially bypass it in local play, but that doesn't affect the scoreboards or anything. Um, but it's pretty cool. This half mortal glitch is what is theoretically going to make 10 relic regular achievable.
I'm so
Not
close.
not a not like a not a high score, but like it's theoretically possible with this.
Yeah, it would be sick.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fucking day when you hit that Exodus run, man.
Yeah, it will
Oh
happen.
man.
I don't know if you ever played Halo with the skulls, but it's pretty similar to that.
Yeah, the skulls.
Yeah.
I've never played it, but I know about it.
Using all the skulls was
Um,
at first thought to be impossible, but people did it, and then they started speedrunning it as well. Or I think they just
I don't know if
completed
we're gonna.
it, and it was already stupidly hard. It's just like recently be completed. But anyway, other game.
Oof, yeah, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be sick.
I doubt anyone's gonna speed run 10 relic other than maybe you.
No, no, I'm definitely never gonna do that.
It's a very shitty
I'm
way to
happy to
play. You're not
survive.
supposed to be able to play it. Yeah, do less damage. 33% reduction in all damage done. Seems to not apply to the grenade turret. Pretty neat.
Yeah,
Fragile. We talked about fragile a lot in the health regen. Um, yeah, like I said, it doesn't affect healing from the medic ability. This is talking about the like the big circle, and then the fall damage that it makes you take. It has a maximum value. I haven't measured it. Um, all I know is that it won't like one shot you from full health. It's it's not like that much, right? It's like maybe a third, a quarter of your health maximum
yeah. I
per
think it's like a
fall.
fourth.
Yeah, it's something like that. So it's not crazy, but the health regen nerf from fragile is substantial.
Yeah,
Stand your ground, 70% multiplier to your base speed, and then like we said earlier, it's beaten by feral instincts entirely. Um, so no machines.
very
Um,
basic.
yeah, exactly what it says. There's I found a lot of visual bugs with no machines and earn your keep, but unlike half mortal, they don't actually impact the gameplay. You can just make your loadout look really weird with
Yeah,
these guys messing around in local play. Um, okay, limited ammo. This one's actually interesting. So each box of ammo is going to give you 20% of max ammo. This means 20% of the second number. Uh, like you have like 30/240 in your assault rifle with 20% of that 240, regardless of what your ammo is upgraded to. So it doesn't matter if you're throwing down plus one incendiaries or plus four incendiaries. It gets you the same amount of ammo.
yeah. So it
Um,
comes down to just don't upgrade your ammo unless you're running Crypto Slayer
yeah,
or regular ammo.
yeah, because the plus three and plus four like special upgrades from cryptid and regular still work, right? So it auto fills your mag and does the ammo resupplies your ammo over time, which is a way to beat like the limited ammo by letting it just regen all your ammo up for you.
Yeah, it also makes
Um,
high score runs a lot more possible with 9 relics.
yeah, and then this is really important. The um, when you throw a box of ammo, you want to throw it with a full magazine
Yeah,
because gives it gives you an extra well, whatever amount of so you get this 20% ammo, and then you also additionally get the amount of bullets you had in your magazine.
yeah. So for example, if you throw a box with a chainsaw with 100 bullets, you get 300 bullets. But if you have an empty chainsaw, you only get 200 bullets. If you have 50 bullets in your chainsaw mag, you only get 250 bullets. It's super weird. But always reload and then throw ammo to get more ammo, which is a bit counterintuitive, but it works.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting is that's how the venom ammo originally worked. When you picked it up off the ground, you wanted to pick it up with 2/0 because it gave you two, and then additional the whatever you had in your mag it
Oh,
matched.
really?
Yeah, and then they changed it to be fill your mag into in reserve.
And then was bugged the other way around. That's funny.
Yeah, right. And then we have our favorite earn your keep. This is the worst relic by far.
It's
It
impossible.
is easier it is easier to list what you still can do after you put earn your keep on than to list all the stuff it prevents you from doing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it blocks everything. Um, there is a there's a glitch though. I think we'd mentioned it earlier
Hmm.
with the here you got this glitch. I think you know more about it than I do.
Absolutely, but I think we also cover it in glitches, but I'm checking right now.
Oh yeah,
I don't see it in glitches though. I'll cover it now.
maybe it's okay.
So, where are we? So, if you ever
39.
earn your keep, you can't throw ammo or support, and you also can't pick up boxes, and you can't search, and you can't do anything. But of course, you want to have that team score for getting maximum score. So you want to pick up boxes, which you can't because you earn your keep. But if you completely die out, people drop all the boxes that you need. You can so your teammates can all drop 3 boxes. So you have 3 teammates. They can throw ammo, support, and money. By holding aim and jump, you can drop money. You can also drop money yourself, and then you totally bleed out. And when you get revived, for some reason the game didn't check you in your keep, and you can pick up all those boxes. So you do this at the start of an hive. You can put 10 boxes down. You get revived by going bleed out, and then you can pick up those 10 boxes, and you're good. It's a lot of effort to do every hive, but if you want to go for the maximum amount of score possible, this is what people do, and it would just run 10 relics in a
Yeah,
co-op game.
this is how this is how the all like the top co-op runs that
Are
that
all
have
done.
10 relics and then like 15 plus downs. This is what that is.
Yeah, that's why there's also so many downs on those. Indeed,
But it's necessary for just
maximizing.
just for the it's not even like they don't even give a shit about like they don't need the drops at all. It's just for the teamwork score.
I mean, the critical slayer and the armor is nice. If you accidentally shoot, you
It's
can
nice.
fix your accuracy, and the armor makes it so you take less damage. But you don't
Yeah,
need it.
right. Like they're not essential.
Yeah, you just want to grenade turret
Yep.
anyway. Also,
All right, let's
there is a video about the magazine stuff where I show it in practice, but you will see that.
mm, yeah, yeah.
Enemies. I think we pretty
All right.
much covered this.
Yeah, venom ammo from the venom ammo on the 45-second timer. And Nightfall, the rhinos can charge. They can roll at you like they make themselves into a ball and
Yeah,
roll
it's funny.
really
They
fast.
can only do it on Nightfall.
Yeah, right. And then we got the wall glitch where sometimes the rhino that opens the wall to let you go to the breeder fight can just come in early for some reason. Um, and if you go out there, you'll be soft locked. But
Yeah,
uh,
this
it
glitch
happened.
is super rare. This has only happened like once to you,
Yep,
once to me
it
super
happened.
recently.
It happened to some guy in my comments like 4 years ago.
I think I heard Pillow or someone of the high school guys mention that they have it happened once, but it's super rare.
Yeah, we have no idea what causes it. It just happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, don't put bouncing betties or claymores on the drill because if a scorpion shoots them or if a rhino does his AoE attack thing, they will blow up and count as enemy damage, and they do enough to one-shot the drill. Well, I think it's like 70 damage each. So if you have two of them on there, it'll insta kill the
Oh no,
drill.
one is enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think it's only
Yeah. So
bouncing
just
betties though. but I don't know if you tested
I
claymores.
think the claymores do it too. I think I tested
Okay.
it, but it has to be aiming at the drill.
Oh yeah.
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 The medic upgrade. So the medic upgrade says it makes you immune from scorpion gas. There's a little time when people thought that it doesn't work on cedar gas, but it does. That's really easy to test.
And also awakening
And
plants.
yeah, it also Yep. Then here's the health scalers, except I have them listed here as based off of 2-player, but it's the same, right?
Yeah.
1144 double.
But they look a bit better.
Yeah, right. It's nicer numbers.
Yeah.
And got my baby ultra hardcore. I haven't changed anything with this from the last update of the spreadsheet, but as always, if you load into a hardcore custom match on your own, it's way harder than a hardcore solo game. And then if you stick AFK players in there, it makes it even worse.
Yeah, it
I
can
do a lot
become
of
really
challenge
hard.
runs related to this. Yeah, you can get stupid. Yes. Okay, Speedtech. These are fun.
Yeah, these are fun.
Uh,
You can
you want
start.
to take these?
I will take these.
Okay, start.
Yeah, you made the first ones. I will go from QuickBooks or extended sprint duration.
Gotcha. So yeah, a lot of these are just little tricks that minorly optimize movement. So the pre-square is what I called it. So as long as the drill doesn't need to be repaired, you can just hold square next to it as the hive finishes and auto pick it up as quickly as possible. And then when you try to plant the drill, it makes you stop sprinting, but you can just start sprinting again after the animation begins, and so uh, you move a little bit quicker with the drill. Um, Drill movement speed, we talked about that before. It gets rid of the pistol buff. Barrel stacking. So with um, with the team boosters, with the little 15-second timer, if you throw down 4 of them, you can stack it up to be 60 seconds long. The same works with barrels, except there's no timer, and you can stack it um, up to, this should say 45 seconds. Um,
Yeah, it should be
since you
45
can put
seconds.
3 boxes out. Yeah, I'll update that. And yeah, it's useful in I said running between areas of point of contact. It's useful in a lot of places when one 15-second thing of barrels won't last long enough for you to make it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, then we have the QuickBooks. If you have Weapon Specialist +1, you can swap weapons faster. Um, if you press Y, you start swapping a weapon, and you can do other stuff, and it will get the increase in speed that you would get from the faster weapon swapping. So you can press Y and pull out the box, and you pull out the box twice as quick, which is called the QuickBooks. It's really useful. It makes Weapon Specialist even better. It's already really good, but this makes it so much better. Quickboxing ammo can make it so you can reload your chainsaw instantly. Quickboxing armor can save you life. It's really nice. I use it literally always.
Yeah,
There's
the
also,
quick box is
it's essential.
yeah.
Learn this as soon as you can. There's a video
It's
about
never
it.
not a good.
Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't work that well in co-op, but solo always do this. Actually,
Yeah.
the increased movement speed of swapping your weapons can also apply to other things. You can press Y and pick up the drill, and it will pick up the drill faster, or propane tanks. This isn't of much use, but it's just funny that it exists. You can also pull out other
Right.
things quicker, like a dab machine, if you would press up and right, like press Y and right at the same time.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Oh,
But
I didn't think about that.
it's not really useful
Huh.
that often, but you can do it if you want.
Yeah, you gotta put that on the back of your pro controller.
I do.
Square and triangle.
Yeah, man.
Right. I could do the G swap. So
Yeah, you found
um,
this out.
this is just, I think we talked about this before, but yeah, you shoot out the disruptor individually. It gets locked into a cooldown. You pull out a grenade suit, and it'll get you out of the cooldown super quick. Save a lot of time.
Very useful, small trick.
Yeah.
Then we have the extended sprint duration. I already covered this, but basically you can extend your sprint to 7 seconds, and with variables +2 or medic +2 or variables +4, you can go to 14 seconds. There's a video about it. I use it in a speedrun. Go watch it if you want. And then we have the
Yeah.
final one, which is the climb while still holding the drill. It's super simple. If you hold the drill, you can't climb. And sometimes you have to go up a ledge. You have to place the drill down, climb the ledge, pick it back up. It loses a lot of time. But what you also can do is you place the drill, jump, and climb. And climbing will cancel the placement of the drill. And the drill will be back in your hands, and you have climbed the ledge. And this will make it so you can climb ledges way faster. Glitches.
Yeah, this got fleshed out a lot by you.
I tripled the size of this section, so I will just speedrun it. Most glitches are on my channel. I made a playlist with all the glitches, all the tricks. Go there, but it's all listed here as well. There is a few glitch spots. The one on point of contact in the second area, second hive, that everybody knows. If you jumps off the roof on the hive, you can stand on top of it. You can only do it by scorpions. You can also go in the last area on top of the minigun in the very last hive by running and jumping on it. You can only hit by scorpions here, which is kind of cool. And in Awakening, there's a pretty cool glitch. We can actually sit inside of a rock. This makes you completely invulnerable, which is one of the only places you can be completely invulnerable, which is pretty cool. You can do this by jumping in a specific angle in a rock. I need to find video of this and add it here probably, because I can't explain where this is. It's like in the first hive of the third area. Then we have the LOL and the snowball Easter egg. There is a trick with this, so you probably know the Easter egg by now. I also have a video on it on my channel. But if you throw ferals while this Easter egg is active, you will keep the wall vision of ferals forever, which I think is a glitch, but I'm not super sure. And if you hit LOLS for some reason on point of contact, the wall vision stays forever, and the gold aliens also drop forever, which is, I think, a glitch, but I'm not sure. Then we have turret clipping. Woo.
Oh boy, that was
turret clipping is insane. The portable turret is extremely bugged and there's a lot of glitches. At the start, we figured out that if you have a turret on the other side of a wall, you can still get on it through the wall. And if you break it by placing another portable turret, you can clip to the wall, which is huge. Then we figured out that you can do it solo by completely emptying a portable turret, hopping off and hopping back on immediately, and this will also destroy the turret and get you through the wall, which is huge. This only works for the portable turret though. Then we figured out that if you do this with a portable turret and you look all the way to the right or left, you can slightly move your character to the right or the left, even through walls. And with this trick, there's some very specific spaces where you can go out of bounds. And this is allowed for some crazy glitches, like the out of bounds solo point of contact escape, which is insane.
Yeah.
This glitch has come to multiple iterations, but now I think we are the final one with the portable turret, and we can do so much stuff now. Definitely watch this video.
Yeah, this glitch has been evolving since like 2013.
Yeah, I've been looking for this final one for so long, and I finally found it. It's amazing.
Yeah, there was like a 2-year period where we were just hunting for the double meteor skip, and we finally got it.
Yeah, and then the out of bounds escape, which is even more crazy.
Yeah.
Then we have the infinite grenade turret. It's used by Eric Barnes made a video about it, to use it for the infinite grenade turret glitch, which we the AFK teeth farm, which we already talked about. Here's a video how to set it up. It's really nice. There's also other ways to get into the infinite grenade turret. You can do it by swapping to a Soflam and picking up propane in a specific timing. You can knife and pull out the box and hop on the turret in a specific timing. or you can glitch it on side of view. I made a video about all the ways to get infinite grenade turrets and the pros and cons. You can watch that if you want. The portable turret can't be infinited. For some reason, if you run out of bullets, you don't get infinite bullets like the grenade turret does, which is unfortunate. Then we have turret duping. It's very simple. If you go to another area, you can place another portable turret, but if you place it down, your old portable turret breaks because the game sees that there's 2 portable turrets on the field. You can avoid this by just picking up the portable turret. So you go to another area, place the portable turret, pick it up. The game checks if there is 2 portable turrets. The game says no, you're good. You place back down the portable turret, now you have 2. You can also do this with sentries, which is really good. And if you have 2 sentries, you can even get a third sentry. And 3 sentries are busted. They can complete highs on themselves. Here's a video how to do this. Oh, I clicked on it.
It can play itself.
Yeah, the sentries are busted.
Dude, guys.
Fuck, I clicked on the link and now I'm pushing the video.
Show you guys how to
Oh god.
Yeah, I fixed it though. Oh no, I closed the spreadsheet.
Uh-oh.
I'm recording my screen, it's okay.
We're almost there.
You're almost
Got 9
there.
pages left.
Yes, okay.
I still have it open.
Yeah, I'm almost back. Give me a second.
I've been keeping tabs on like little stuff that I see that we should fix. I think after this we can upload the video and I'll
Yeah, we
clean
will
up a
update
couple
the
things and then get the
PDF.
spreadsheet uploaded.
Okay, infinite mouse
That's right,
glitch.
yeah.
This one is amazing. For some reason, you can override guns with a mouse. So by doing a very specific combination, just watch the video. I can't explain it. It's like right shoot, double down, Y. But you can.
Yeah, it's like a Mortal Kombat combo.
Yeah, it's like a combo move, but you can have a mouse override a gun. It's the best use is overriding the NX1, which regens ammo. So the mouse is really strong. You can only get 3 bullets maximum because it's so strong. And with the NX, you have 10 bullets, which is regen, which is amazing. And you can demolish things with it. It's super fun. You can also do this with other guns like the MK32, but it's not that useful. Here's a video where I do it if you want to see how it works. Then we have 2-player teleportation. There is 2 ways to teleport people. The first one is with the IMS. If you have an IMS, okay, wait. So you can teleport people by moving a box while they're picking up the box. So while you're picking up a box, your position gets saved relatively to the box. So if the box is moved, you can teleport that player to wherever the box is moved while he's picking it up. So if you place on an IMS, put a propane tank on top of it, place a box on top of that propane tank. You can move the box around by moving the IMS. So if you place it somewhere, one person can pick up the box and you move the IMS to a completely different place, and that player will be teleported with the box. This way you can teleport people across the map, through walls. It's insane what you can do with this, and it's really fun to mess around with. Here's a guide on how to do it. You can also do this as a Hive trap. If you have a Hive trap, you place a bouncing Betty on top of it, and then you can place a box on it. And then you can move the Hive trap around and basically do the same thing. And there's also a video about that. You can do the IMS on point of contact and the Hive trap on Mayday, Awakening, and Exodus. Only on Nightfall you can't teleport, unfortunately, until we figure out a way to move a box. Timing the teleport can be hard, since there's always a delay in your speech when you use party chat or anything. But there's a pretty consistent trick that a lot of people use, including me and the high score winners. What you do is you jump and then pick up the box, and you want the player that moves the IMS to see you. When you pick up a box, you freeze in the air. The other player can see this, and he can place down the IMS, moving the box, moving you to the wall. So by having a queue where he can see that you freeze in the air, it's really easy to time placing the IMS. So you don't have to do a countdown, which will always fail. Then the door glitch. This only works on the 360 version of the game, unfortunately, probably because they got the DLC earlier and they missed an update. But basically, what it does is you can open a door during the Medusa fight, and this completely messes with the game. The ancestors' spawns are basically programmed like doors. So if you open a door while an ancestor spawns, it basically moves up one ancestor. So you can switch what spawns you get, and you can switch to the overtime spawns. You can completely break the game if you open the door while in overtime. I made a whole video about it. It's really funny. It's an awesome glitch. In the speedrun, it saves like a minute more.
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Because you can go
Yeah,
into
I think it's more like
overtime.
5.
It's it's insane. And it makes some challenge runs possible because you can make the game easier or harder. It's a really cool glitch. It's the first glitch I ever found. It's the reason I started speedrunning, I think.
Yeah, that thing is crazy.
It's
I
stupid.
wish that worked on all the consoles.
Me too. It would be so fun. Half Mortal. I will leave this one to you.
I can do this one. Yeah, so on local play, it's possible to partially disable the Mortal Relic with double class, which allows you to have have a fully upgradable, usable, functioning class and still have the Mortal Relic active, which is crazy. The setup
Insane.
is also crazy. You have to first get double class unlocked in local play. That's kind of the biggest roadblock. Um, and I think you also have to be playing on a disc. You might be able to do digital on like a PlayStation and not on Xbox, but it's easier if you have the disc. So what you do is you go into local play, you equip double class and mortal, then you revert the game to day one edition. So what you do is you're deleting the game, and then you're putting the disc back in and playing it before the game updates. And so you're just playing what is physically on the disc. So in that day one edition, you go to local play, you change your class from mortal because you made it mortal earlier to whatever you want the class to be, and then you update it. Um, if I found that if you actually like load into the games after changing your loadout, it saves it to the disc a little better. But yeah, if you do this right, you'll have like a weapon specialist as your primary and mortal as your secondary class. You can't change the class. If you do, it gets rid of the glitch. So if you want to change your half mortal class, you have to delete and re-download the game again. I've got a video of it linked here. It's 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 a really neat glitch. It doesn't have any impact on the leaderboards or anything because you can't do this online. It's only local play, but you know, as we've been talking about, this is what is going to make 10 relic regular possible.
Yeah. Just barely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy.
It's still stupid hard. Okay, then we have some smaller
We're almost
glitches. You can insta kill an ancestor by using the engineer shield. If you pop an engineer shield, it stops aliens from going into that shield. And ancestors have a pre-programmed path they have to walk. So if you put an engineer shield in front of it, they will bug out completely. They can't do anything anymore, and sometimes they will just instantly die. I have a video about it if you want to see that. Infinite electric knife. Do you want to cover this?
Yeah. So if you have the electric knife tooth upgrade, there's a glitch that makes it so that your electric knife can come out every single knife. Normally, how it works is if you get one knife, and then you have to go a certain amount of time without knifing again for it to recharge. But if you just hold the reload button while you knife, it lets you just keep knifing over and over and over again while doing the electric stuns. And if you have a controller with back buttons, I put one of them as reload, and it makes the electric knife like actually a practical way to continuously keep enemies in like a stun lock, because you can just keep like one knife and then like 8 lightning bolts stun everything and just keep doing it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
Also,
beautiful.
having the X on your back button allows you to shoot and aim while searching or repairing the driller terminals or whatever. It's a good idea if you have back buttons.
Yeah, I don't know why the electric knife works like that, but it does.
Yeah.
You can repair, move equipment, and revive other people with your weapon out without engineer. Um, with engineer, you can repair the drill with your weapon out. Anyway, if you knife, pull out a box, and if you knife and pull out the box, there's a small window before you pull out the box where you can press X. If you use this small moment to start repairing the drill, move equipment, or revive, you can cancel the box later, and you can get your gun back in your hand while you're doing this action. Here's 3 videos of Intellium doing it with repairing the drill, moving equipment, and reviving. It's really funny. It's useful in some runs actually, like Sigma
I
Hardcore.
bet that would be,
Sigma Hardcore becomes
yeah.
pretty easy with this, or at least easier. I use this in my run.
Yeah, no, that with the back button would make a lot of things easier.
Yeah, for sure.
uh, yeah, good.
Then we have a brand new glitch. It's the fence clip in Nightfall. You know the very first fence where the breeder slams the guy to open it? For some
Yeah.
reason, if you jump into the corner and you rotate to the right, you can clip through it. I don't know why this works. A Japanese guy in my YouTube Jackson just told me it. He was like, "Why don't you do this?" He thought it was common knowledge, and I figured it out. I have a clip of it here. I'm gonna use it in my upcoming Nightfall speedrun video. Look out for that. This glitch is very similar to the roof clip in Mayday. In Mayday, there's the hive in the first area, where if you run into the hive, you can clip through the roof and get into the room with the ARX without having to open the door, which is kind of useful if you want to get the ARX early if you don't want to open the door. I do it in a speedrun because I like the ARX and I can get it a bit earlier. And here's a
Get
10-year-old video of somebody doing it because that glitch is 10 years old and they never patched it.
Yep. You can get your like a sticky flare box made real early if you
Yeah,
want with
you can get crafting boxes without having to open the door.
yeah. Alright, I'll
Uh,
start off the miscellaneous.
I will take over at some point.
Yeah. So yeah. One of these will be yours. So spinning while repairing or reviving doesn't speed the process up. It's just an optical illusion from having the background move by quickly, right? People think it gives you like pulses of like revive and repair progress, but it's just an optical illusion. You can time it yourself. It's really easy. Um, we've talked about this a little bit. If you have extended mags in your gun or rapid fire, and the other one is on the ground, uh, when you swap from the rapid fire to the extended mag, it's going to refill your magazine for you. So you can just keep swapping and generate infinite ammo like that, but it is dependent on you searching one up, so it's not like a super common glitch. Um, the VKS, it has damage drop. I don't know what the range values are for it, and I'm not going to bother trying to find them, but it does. It's the only sniper rifle whose damage decreases with range. Um, the MR28 can have burst fire, but it's a very bad idea because it massively decreases the damage per shot from, I need to update that, to 500, from 500 to 150, and only increases the overall rate of fire, right? Because you got to wait for the burst a little bit. So
Yeah,
the DPS from the MR28 gets halved when you put burst fire on it. Um, it
insane.
makes the yeah, it makes the damage range like like normal. With the MR28, as it is, single shot has a very weird damage profile. I'm actually gonna scroll all the way back up to the
Yeah,
chart. Oh, I don't have the chart in here.
no, I don't think it's in
I don't
here.
have it. Never mind. Maybe I should put that in there. Um, but the damage it goes it stays at its max damage and then it just immediately drops to its minimum damage. There's no transition, there's no slope. It's just all or nothing.
90
The
degrees
burst fire
drop.
makes it like a yeah, literally it is like one step goes from 100% damage to none. Weird.
Nice.
Um, burst fire makes it have like a normal damage curve. We talked about this. The FP6, it can at launch it could take a rapid fire, and so the devs just made it not able to
How did
take
you
that
figure this
modification
out?
type at all. I was playing on day 1 edition, and I just slapped a rapid fire on an FP6.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think I was searching with the FP6 out, and I found a rapid fire, and I'm like, what the hell? And it
What
went
the
on. It didn't
fuck?
do anything. I checked. It didn't change the fire rate at all, but
That's hilarious.
FP6 or FP6 rapid fire only point of contact. Um,
Yeah,
I
beautiful.
had mentioned this. There are 3 different kinds of pistol arc attachments in the code, but they all do the same damage multiplier. I made sure to double check that. Enemies taking a lot of damage from a trap will make it turn off quickly. This you can see this really easily with the electric puddle trap on Awakening. Like you put a mammoth in it, and the trap will turn off super quick instead of lasting for its full like a minute and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
Then the the engineer +3 increases trap duration by 33%. The akimbo pistols have a slightly longer melee distance than regular pistols do, and this makes it possible to knife the breeder's face while it's healing during the final breeder fight, which is what allowed melee only nightfall to be possible.
Yeah,
And
extremely
then
stupid, but
you found the venom trick.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like the venom trick is like way easier than this, but
Mm.
technically this works too. Um, if you plant a drill in a new area before like all the hive symbols load in, it'll just delete the drill and then soft lock the game. So that's why like in Nightfall um we after the first breeder, you don't plant the drill at the closest hive. You go like past it because you plant it too early. You're gonna lock the game up.
Yeah, and also have to wait in the turret area for the icons to load, because otherwise you just lose the run.
Yeah, right. Um, yeah, when an enemy hits your armor, you also take a little bit of damage underneath the armor just to your health. This matters for score runs, and it's why you can be downed while wearing armor, right? And when you I think it's probably just 1 HP per damage that you take through it or something like that. But when you're in something that deals constant damage over time, it kind of adds up quickly because you're taking this 1 HP like boom, 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 boom,
Mm.
you know? Then I noticed when I was trying to test my the health regen that when you get revived, the game makes you invincible for like 3 seconds, I think. Um,
Yeah, I noticed
yes,
actually. It's
that's
pretty nice.
yeah, because I was trying to like blow myself up with the MK32 and I wasn't taking damage. Um, whenever a hive obelisk generator ends, the currently alive enemies uh, get their healths cut in half, which is why you can like one knife everything after a hive ends. Um, while it looks like fall damage is disabled with like without the fragile relic, you do actually take a little tiny bit of damage, probably also like 1 HP. Um, and it's possible to die from fall damage without having the fragile relic on, and it has happened to me.
How?
Unless I'm just, like I was on Awakening, I jumped off
Of
something while I
course.
was like super low on health, and it just I was like 1 HP, and you get, unless I'm just tweaking and something else got me
No, I believe you.
at that very second. Yeah, there's our 2 hours 47 minutes, friend. Um, on Exodus, yeah, it's possible to get enough skill points to completely max out a loadout. Um, but you got to get all 3 of the ancestors to spawn into the end of the Medusa, which is uh, rare. I don't actually know how you like force that to happen,
I
or
have
like
no
a certain
idea.
number of people need to be in. It's like at the end of the Medusa sequence, sometimes you get 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. You get all 3, it's possible to like fully black out your entire loadout, which is cool.
Yeah.
Then yeah, here's our that info about rapid fire, 17% faster fire rate and 5% more recoil, which is countered by adding a grip. And then yeah, we got our note about CS ammo for like the 18th time because this is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know about this by now. The maximum damage multiplier you can have is this 2.11x by being a +4 weapon specialist with a normal arc, like a 34% damage boost arc, and you get like your 5% damage upgrade from the armory.
Yeah.
Here's that note about the bouncing Betty getting blown up by scorpions or rhinos. Don't do it. Just don't put them by the drill.
Yeah, it can also destroy sentry guns and turrets. So at some points we were using it for the turret clipping, but not anymore. Luckily.
Yeah. Yeah, don't you can't hypno knife or hypno trap these enemies here. I think the hypno knife does do damage to them though.
You can kill seekers and bombers with it. I don't think it deals damage to the others.
Yeah, there's some way you can like kill things with a hypno knife, but it's weird.
Getting a hypno
And
knife,
yeah, here's
getting knife with gargle challenge, just throw a hypno knife at it.
oh god, that would make
That would
that
be
a lot
sick.
easier if it worked. And then yeah, here's extras tooth upgrade video from earlier. Watch that when you want to know what tooth upgrades to get in what order.
Yeah, I also
And
thought of a completely random miscellaneous fact. If you have 99
yeah.
teeth, you can upgrade mortal, which does nothing,
Oh yeah.
but you can.
9,999 skill points you can
Oh,
upgrade.
9,999. Okay, yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
nines.
Yeah, it's 9,999
But
points is how much it costs to upgrade mortal or
but if you use
like earn
cheat
your keep
engine,
or no
you can
machines.
actually do it, and it does nothing.
Yeah. You can upgrade mortal.
Okay, then we have some
All right.
some notes.
Yeah, this was the beef of the spreadsheet. Now we're just
Yeah,
cleaning
now we hit
up
the
here
finish line.
after 3.5 hours.
Fuck, 3.5 hours. I wish I got a beer during this. Shit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought it would take
I'll
like
go over
2
it. So
hours. Holy shit.
yeah, maybe we could have sped it up, but honestly, it's good. It's good to have the video be this long because then
It's
people see it and they're
fun.
like, "Oh shit!" Like it's real.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's
okay,
good shit.
so all all of the cool like thumbnail art and stuff pretty much comes from these links, um,
Yeah, I also use them.
or at
Mostly
least
the
the stuff
wiki.
I get. Yeah, lots of good stuff here. Um, we have 3 data mines that we know about now. These are all their links here. Um, they don't have everything. We are still waiting on someone to data mine weapon stats, like damage and range values. Um, Once that happens, I will definitely do another iteration of this
Yeah.
spreadsheet with the damage plots for everything. Um, but yeah, we're still waiting on that. There's links to our 2 speedrun leaderboards. They're the ZWR and speedrun.com. We've rectified the timing discrepancy between the two of them since we last talked about it on the spreadsheet 2 years ago.
Yeah, I would recommend using speedrun.com though.
Yeah,
Because
it's more
neater.
speedrun
Yeah, it's more
based,
speedrun.
obviously.
If you want to go do score wins, go to ZWR. You can upload
Yeah,
your score wins
ZWR.
there.
The Japanese wiki page here, it's cool. Don't take it as gospel. There's a lot of stuff that's just straight up wrong, but they have some cool stuff there. And yeah, if you're on a
Lol.
computer, you can probably just hit like a button and translate it all to your language. So, we've got a couple more links here that I've added. So we've got Curse's score spreadsheet. Got the global leaderboards in this. Alex's chaos mode guide. This is really cool. He's like the #1 guy for chaos mode.
Yeah.
So he has his whole like version of this, but for chaos is right here.
Yeah, we know nothing about this, but there's like some real
Dude,
tech you can use in chaos mode, which is pretty cool.
yeah, there's a lot there. It's not a lot of people play it, but yeah, Alex is the man. Then Traditor guy on a Discord server, he got the 3D models of them, put them in Blender. So if you are like a 3D artist person and you want to mess with the models, they're in this Google Drive folder.
Yeah,
We got our
I also have a lot of speedrun spreadsheets that I don't think anybody is interested in. But if you want to speedrun this game, just hit me up on Discord and I'll ask for the speedrun spreadsheets. I didn't put them in here because I think nobody would want them. But if you want them, just ask me.
yeah. And speaking of the Discord server, this first one is mine. It's our main one. Guy named Red is working on an Extinction remake from time to time. Here's his Discord server. And then if you actually want to find like Extinction games just with random people and not the tryhards that we have in in our sphere, um,
Yeah.
the actual like COD Ghosts full Discord has an Extinction tab, and there's some action in that.
Yeah. Also,
And
Call of Duty Ghosts is got a big discount on Xbox with the Game Pass. So now it only goes for $40 for the game and DLC instead of 100. So if you want to get it, now is a good
that's
moment.
good. Gotta buy the dip. All right, I've expanded the shoutouts page. Um, so yeah, so here's my channel. I'm Eric. Extra Bier's channel. Pillow also helped us a lot with the with this version of the spreadsheet here, and then just a whole bunch of other people that are active in the community, and lots of valuable informations. Veneer, Tellium, Curse, Alex, Beaskly, Solomimbo, and then Stewie. He hasn't been around in a long time, but this is the guy that got me into speedrunning the first time, so I like to keep his thing linked here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Then
so
we cover all
here
the changes.
is the list of all the crap we've done.
It doesn't look like much, but it was
I don't
so
want to.
much work.
It was so much. Oh my god, we started this in January.
Yeah. Sometimes I would spend a day on just testing one thing. It's stupid.
Yeah, it takes so long to like test something and actually like be confident about it. Because
Mm.
I mean, you can run a test once and you get a number and just run with it, but is that right? Is that number bullshit? Is you gotta dig in.
Yeah, and also all the
It's like,
multipliers is so much to test.
yeah, pretty much every single thing you've seen on this entire spreadsheet was like by hand tested, except for like the reload times and shit that I pull off a wiki page. But yeah,
Yeah.
and then the last chunk is things that we might want to research more. My number one is just we need to get the data mined weapon values. That's like the next great leap forward
That
that
would be
needs to happen.
so
Like
nice.
if you or someone you know is able to um, like pull these values out of the code, I literally will commission like someone for this with money. Please.
I will dip in as well.
Yeah. Then other than that, we need to figure out incendiary ammo more. It's just so weird and like impossible to test.
Yeah, the damage is not consistent. It's a bit randomized every time.
Yeah. Basically the same exact thing with arcing stun ammo. My rough estimate is 70% of like the initial bullet damage, but who knows?
Yeah, I've seen a scorpion die by arcing stun damage, but it's really hard to come up with the exact number of how much damage it does.
Yeah, and like it arcs like multiple times. It's like, okay, do those do all the same damage? Does it depend on the upgrade level of your ammo? Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Sniper arc multiplier. There's some weirdness here. It's like the USR can one-shot hunters, but the L115 can't. Although it seems to do less damage off of everything we've tested.
Fucking weird.
Weirdness. Yep. Oh shit, wait. Did oh, this is like for sentry guns.
I thought
Right?
it was
Or,
like
oh no,
the
this is
mounted turrets
yeah, this is the mounted ones. That's what I was going for with that. I totally
and the
blanked. I
Kraken
was like,
turret.
wait. Uh, yeah, the Kraken turret, the little miniguns.
Yeah, you
I
have
saw
also
that
the
and was like, wait.
Exodus, but nobody uses them.
Yeah. Then yeah, just keep looking for data mines. Keep an eye out for them and update these links.
Okay.
Holy crap! Oh my god.
How much time was that?
3 hours 45 minutes. Ugh.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Good
dude.
recording, man. Damn. Was a
Wow.
nice talk though. I
Yeah.
wish I would grab a beer before this. If I thought it would take like 2 hours, but we are not double on it. This is
Yeah.
gonna take a
Oh.
while to upload.
Dude, I recorded this in 4K 60.
Bro,
I'm
you're
so cooked, bro. This shit's
crazy.
coming out next week for me.
I hope I can upload this tonight. I'll probably
Yeah.
use the first page as like a thumbnail and just call it a day. Add the
Yeah.
add the timestamps later.
Yeah. Alright. I've stopped my recording. Ugh.
See you guys. Bye.